Who's ready? I'm ready. What a show we have here today. Even though Winston and I held the fort down together all by our lonesomes, well, today we have a full crew. Not only is RB3 here, not only is the dastardly Andrew Ghai here, myself and Winston Marshall, we think Bonnie Somerville is going to be here. We'll figure that out in just a little bit, but I don't know. Tune in. The show's about to start. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEN Live. It is the morning show here on the Schmoedown Entertainment Network. I am Kristian Harloff, and so glad you can join us here today on this Friday, the 13th. You scared? Me too. I just saw my glasses. Ladies and gentlemen, RB3 in the house. The RB.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for saving me. I'm surprised I didn't destroy all your setup. If I did, I apologize. Bonnie Somerville, thanks for joining us here. Bonnie. Oh. All right. Well, we don't need her because you hear that joyous laughing. That is Winston Marshall, my partner in crime from yesterday.
What up, bro?
How are you, man? Good to see you again.
I'm good. And, look over to my right. I guess it looks like the left.
I know. Well, that's what I was just about to say. Ladies and gentlemen, he is dastardly. He is Drew. He is Ghai. Andrew Ghai. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I feel like basically from October to February, I just look like I'm hungover from eating like cake.
Dude,
and that's the case. Last night or yesterday, I had pizza, I had gnocchi, and then last night at like 10:30, I made a milkshake.
Wow.
Just because I had an old I don't know what the hell's wrong. So I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing good.
Okay, look, it's the end of the year. We're getting close to Christmas. You pack on the pounds, and then when you're done, and then when everybody comes back, it's so funny. By the end of the year, or even everyone's like, oh, everyone's been eating and having a good time, and then you come back in like January. It's like, wait, how did you lose 333 pounds?
No, I don't. Yeah. Opposite.
You in January, February, I guarantee you, that's what you did last year. The awards, you were a little bloated, and then
thick.
A little thick, and I think it was like 2 weeks later, I was doing a shoot with them. I'm like, wait a minute, how are you looking all chiseled and shit again? How do you do that?
It made for better shit talking though.
Oh yeah,
because you were just like, that's actually how he let it all out. That's how he got rid of it. He was just like,
oh,
look, you little shitheads, I'm up here again because you fucking love me.
Because you love it. Well, we are having a full show. A lot of news that broke, and obviously, if you're tuning in, you see the title of the headline here. Myself, Winston, and RB3 will be doing a non-spoiler review of the latest chapter in The Mandalorian that just dropped earlier this morning. Quick thing. I just tweeted about it. I love the episode. Probably my second favorite episode of the entire season so far.
Wow.
But we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a little bit. Bob Iger and Martin Scorsese going to sit down and have some talks about finding out exactly what this whole cinema, as opposed to movies and all that kind of stuff, what it's all about. They're going to have a chat, the two bigwigs. And Shazam 2 gets a release date. So much to talk about here today. And obviously, we are going to, just like yesterday, there were so many great questions that you sent myself and Winston. You go to STREAMLABS.com/the Schmoedown or Super Chat, either one. Streamlabs doesn't take a percentage for Super Chat's like 33% or something along those lines. But whatever you're comfortable with, you do get more characters in Streamlabs, so up to you. The SCHMOEBOT is going to be on in just a moment also. But Andrews, listen, man. So what's been going on with you? You weren't able to be. Well, see, there's certain things I don't want to ruin.
I know.
We can talk about the.
Did it release today?
No, not for $5 patrons. Got it last night.
We never talked about the family match.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah,
we'll talk. And let's bring that up in just a little bit also, because I do want to talk to you about the family, because there's a big thing that happened at the end of that match. The spectacular will be it's online. It is available to patrons at the $5 level right now, and you can still get it at theschmoedownlive.com. The awards and the draft it's January 11th. It's on sale. It's at the Comedy Store. It went on sale yesterday, so you can get those tickets also at theschmoedownlive.com. But what else has been going on in your world, man?
I'm just getting ready for the holidays. I've had this. My gig just ended. That's why I couldn't be at the spectacular.
Right.
You know, I had the World Finals. We did them at the Shrine Auditorium Expo Hall for Clash Royale, the game that
How did it go?
Dude, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was actually really cool. There was over 1,000 people in there. They had me MC at the beginning, get the crowd warmed up, and then I just did the thing for like 6 hours, just straight broadcasting. And it was awesome, man. It's cool to see that many people flying from all over the world, just like with SCHMOEBOT.
Right.
They flew in from all over the world to watch this game be played.
A lot of similarities, right? As far as the hardcore, not the game itself, obviously, but the hardcore fan base. And
Yeah, they're incredibly interactive. They do it mainly on Twitter, whereas I feel like most of our interaction in SCHMOEBOT comes like in comments and mainly in the Facebook group and on Patreon and all that. But for some reason in Clash, this next generation, because it definitely is a generation below mine. They love Twitter. And they voice every opinion, every problem they have, everything that goes through their mind they put up on Twitter.
That's
so
awesome.
It makes the community incredibly interactive. So it was great. I have to admit, I had one of the best days ever working, but I had a lot of FOMO. I really did.
I'm sure.
I really wanted to be at both.
Dude, that expo was crazy.
Honestly, I wanted to be at the expo more here. I love live events, and you know, I've been to a lot of them, but the expo, the first time ever doing that seemed cool, and I saw the pictures. It just looked like such a damn good time.
It was good. You were definitely missed for sure. It was where you've, I mean, you're one of the bigger personalities. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in. Oh, look who it is.
I figured it was Tom Magneto. No.
I'm convinced that she does this now on purpose to make the big grand entrance.
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen, joining us for the second time on SEN Live. She is here. She is about to cause some mayhem. She is Bonnie Somerville.
Nice glasses.
Thank you. You like them? Not bad, right?
Hi.
Bonnie Somerville for the first time meeting Andrew Ghai.
Hi,
Winston
Bonnie.
Marshall.
Nice
Okay, and Andrew Ghai.
Very nice to
Somerville.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So did you get parking today?
Yes.
Okay, good. You're okay.
You still didn't put the address on the
You don't need the
email.
address today.
Yeah, you do.
You had it from last time.
That's one time.
What do you lose? What happens? You delete your emails afterwards?
Yes,
Can't
I
do a
do.
search?
I actually do.
Well,
But
that's your
it's in
problem.
it's in my navigation.
You have street cleaning out there from
Yes.
9 to 11 today.
Yeah.
Today?
But it's covered up on the sign. But
Yeah,
here's
it's
the
the whole
thing.
thing.
Here's the thing.
What side are you parked
I'm
on?
parked on the wrong side then.
But it's
I thought
okay.
It was Thursdays.
Thursday and Friday.
on the side, so the side where more of the cars, that's
The
Thursday,
one
and
closer to my.
that
You
one
should
on the
park
house-
closer to my house. If you cross the street, then you got
did. I
problems.
parked
No,
on this
across the
side.
street is Thursday.
Yeah,
That's what the sign says.
okay, but here's the thing.
It says no Thursday across.
Across the street is Thursday. Your side is Friday. But they already gave a ticket to a Jeep.
That was me.
Which memes? Okay, so you
Okay.
got that. So
See,
you got
I
the
almost
ticket.
parked behind
even
it,
know.
and I
No,
was
no,
like,
I'm moving my car.
Wait, hold on.
Unless you want to pay for my ticket.
But here's
I know,
the
you
thing.
move your car.
Here's the thing: is after they give the tickets and the street cleaning comes by, they don't come back. That's
do you
the
know
rule.
that?
I talked to the parking people.
Yeah, no,
because in Santa Monica, the parking is such a fucking
Nightmare.
battlefield.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, excuse me.
Yeah.
If you do the tickets, can we put? He's like, it's a secret, man, but you can park there. He was the
Nah,
coolest
it's a
fucking
trap,
moment
man.
in his whole life.
Nah, he's
I'm an
trying to fuck with
absolute-
you. He was about to come right back and give you a ticket.
I'm an absolute idiot. I'm an absolute idiot because last night I drove and I parked and I didn't have my glasses on, right? And so, but I look at the, but
now that you
Now
have
it's
them,
all
it's
about
all-
glasses
it's-
all of a
but
sudden.
it's-
I
but
never
it's-
saw him in glasses, and now it's like you can't do anything without
I've had
glasses.
them for an hour.
no, but because I can't read signs, and I'm like, and when
I've
I
had
go
glasses for
but
1
no,
minute.
but
So
this
you
is the
become
stupid.
Floyd Mayweather when you take your glasses off?
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
This is the stupidest thing, though. This is the stupidest thing. I saw it enough because I'm replaying the thing in my head. When you said that, you said they gave a Jeep. I was like, it's me because I'm a moron. Last night I'm walking over and there were these two people who were on the phone and they're walking down the block and I was walking over the sign. These people are gonna think I'm stalking them, but I don't care. I walk up and I look at the thing and I can see it. I'm back there right now and it says no parking on Thursdays. And I park on the side of Friday. Why did I do that, Winston?
I don't know. I don't know.
I have to move my car because I can't get tickets.
Go ahead,
I
go move
parked
your
on
car.
that
Go
side.
back.
I parked on the side.
You know-
I'm into the danger zone.
Why is that
Yeah, thank you very much.
This will be a test.
I'll be back.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks
Yes,
so much.
Thank you for stopping. Nice to meet you.
You want to move? Hey, you want to move my Jeep too while you're at it?
Hold on, your keys.
You can't move the.
Could this show get any better?
No, I don't think so.
This is going to be a test because she's going to move her car and I'm not going to have a ticket at the end of the day.
Well,
I'm not
I'm not paying for your ticket,
You know,
motherfucker. I'll tell you that.
I know you will. You want to give me the
Invoice for
Wi-Fi
that one.
password.
Bro,
Yeah, that I did on purpose.
It's a trick
I'll
though
give it to you
because
afterwards.
your side of the street, they have covered all the
They
wording.
are.
on
They're
this
all
side.
clean. You can take a picture of the sign and fight it if you care.
You
I know,
really
'cause
want
it doesn't say because
Well,
it's
it
like
says
blocked
nothing.
off.
It literally
I know,
says
it
nothing.
It's
It
all
just says
taped
no
up.
parking. It's bullshit. Someone is trying to.
No,
fuck
I
with y'all.
know, and last week, and Ben Goddard saved me from it last week, and it was just I deserve to pay the ticket. I deserve.
You know
After
what?
I
Hold
did
on.
last night is
Hold on.
stupid.
Download the app. It's called Parking Angel.
Yes.
It'll literally literally warn your ass, like,
Weird.
hey, move your shit by 8, bruh.
I
I just think if
yeah.
you move somewhere, you should get a 6-month grace period. That's the thing. When you move somewhere
I
new,
agree.
you always get
Normally
a
I
fucking
would
parking
agree with
ticket.
you, but I'm going to argue against myself because it was literally the dumbest thing I've ever done. I looked up at the thing and it said no parking on Thursday, and in my head I said, "Oh, I'm good. Let me park on the other side." I mean, my head was foggy last night. It really was. You know, when you're driving, I was just.
Why are you not realizing?
It says to park on the other side, and you park on this side. What are you doing?
How what? Was that?
You're getting there.
It was them
You're
getting there?
getting
All right,
Who
man.
the
You
fuck
know,
is
we're
that?
Sebastian Maniscalco.
It's funny how I knew that immediately.
It's just like I'll do the impression for Bonnie when she gets in, so she knows because that's her favorite, one of her favorite.
She
things.
left. She left.
She's gone.
She's
She's
not
off.
coming back.
I mean, she left her coffee and her Diet Coke. I don't know, man.
She
mean,
left her
that's-
keys though too.
I mean,
Yeah.
how would
she was like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here."
I'm getting a motherfucking ticket, son.
the joke is she walked here. It's like, how much caffeine do you need? It's like
I mean,
between
apparently
the
One
Diet
of them
Coke.
is whiskey. That would be my guess.
Seriously, it's just like it's like moonshine or something. That's serious.
If we didn't do the show so early, that bottle would be gone.
I know.
I would have drank
Yeah.
every time I came here.
It's
Oh, yeah.
like it's just like a prop now.
I always take like a sip when I come. Now that he
Not
told me
now
that
when
I
you're
can.
sick.
Now
9:30
that
in the
I'm
morning.
sick. No, because I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah.
but wait, do you have any Advil in here? By the way, I
here?
have a hangover.
No.
I, like.
You have a hangover. You
Yeah.
were sick.
Yeah, no, I have a hangover.
You need some kush to fix that, man.
Oh,
That's what you
my
need.
guy. Yeah.
Bonnie, I'm going to do an impression for you, and I want to see if you can guess who the impression is. Okay. They say to park on Thursday, but you park on the Friday spot. What are you doing?
Sebastian.
Oh my God! What is this?
Well done.
Have you never watched Sebastian? Oh, dude.
Aren't you embarrassed?
Aren't you? He does. So it's a buddy of mine who I came up
Are
with
you
from the comedy
embarrassed?
store.
You
Yeah.
fucking fucking wrong.
Yeah, but he does this. You'd love this bit because he goes, "You ever walk into a Starbucks and the guy's there and he goes, I want to order a Frappuccino with the cream on top. Cream on top? You get a black coffee and you go to work."
My favorite is "Aren't you embarrassed?"
Yeah, that's what he is. Aren't you embarrassed?
Aren't you
Come on,
embarrassed?
yeah, I got to get him on the show.
Cream? You're a 45-year-old fucking man. Aren't you embarrassed?
Yeah, I saw him when I went to the Irishman premiere. I talked to him for a bit,
amazing.
and I was just telling him, I got to get him on the show.
My mom loves him. She's a huge fan of his. She follows him.
Sadie
And
loves him. I took her while my wife was pregnant. We went to the Pantages to see him again.
He's
too.
amazing.
It's like, I would have gotten you tickets. You paying?
He's amazing.
Yeah, so good. Anyway, so you moved your car?
I did.
Did you move mine?
No.
No.
You already
Thank
got the
so
ticket.
much.
You good.
I know.
What you do though is leave that shit there next
like 2
Friday
weeks.
with the ticket,
Right.
and then
Yeah,
he
I've
gets
tried that.
confused.
They'll
Doesn't
check.
work.
They'll
They'll
check.
They'll check.
Yeah, because
They-
it's like
they're
a
so
quota.
stealth-like now.
It's a
They
quota.
put tickets in Ziploc bags in the rain.
Yep,
Yeah.
seen
Yeah,
that.
I just got one.
That's
I
some
can't
so
get any more
good shit.
tickets.
So
Waste.
yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, I think it was yesterday. I played it for you, but I did play it 2 days ago. We had a song from Jonas Gallegos about Ben the Bagel Boy. Well, there's another. There's another
I
song
saw
that's
the-
coming out.
the Bagel- yeah.
So we're gonna play.
Where's Ben?
I need
Oh.
He's dreaming about you. He's ill. But you. If you listen to these lyrics, you might be able to actually answer those questions. You ready to play?
I didn't get the actual file. You just sent me a link to your email.
Yeah. To mine? No. It's a link. It's a link to the song.
It's not open.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's on the Facebook group right now. I know that.
Facebook group. Okay.
Why would we have this lull? First of all, I just love to say, big fan of your work.
Thank you.
Mona is one of my favorite
Oh,
characters,
thank
so that
you
was
so
always
much.
hilarious. And my girlfriend told me to tell you that she also loves you, but she hates that you broke up one of the best couples on TV on the OC, I guess. is
Oh
what
yeah.
She said.
No, almost.
Almost, okay,
I
okay.
tried.
Yeah.
I tried.
So I just
He
wanted
didn't fall for my feminine wiles.
I guess that didn't go through for some reason. It didn't.
Sandy Cohen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It didn't go through RB3. You're right. I don't know why that.
I knew I mean, come on. If it's between the two of you, RB3 is.
I know.
gonna
You know
be
what?
the-
I know. At this point, from the asshole that posts on parks on the wrong side of the street. I mean, what an idiot.
That's on me. That's on me.
I thought
you
those
did
were
get
supposed
it?
to. I
No,
thought
I
those
didn't get
glasses were supposed to make you smarter, man.
Yeah.
No,
What
it's
happened?
just supposed to look smart. It doesn't do anything with
They,
your brain.
they have no prescription in them. you know.
There's nothing.
There's no lens in them.
Oh,
You've
they're
been-
blue
you've been-
blockers.
so you've been-
They're blue blockers.
You've been faking it.
It's the one thing I put a picture of the glasses, and it's like, I can put all these things at the Schmoedown, everything, the things I'm trying to promote, and it gets like average likes. You put a picture of the glass, like ex-girlfriends, you posting people of the with the glass. Everyone likes the glasses, and I'm like, I can't.
When you say ex-girlfriends,
I'm not you.
And then
I'm
you said
saying
me.
and
Now
you.
you just started
I'm not
another.
saying that. I'm saying
My
and-
ex-girlfriend's
I'm saying
I'm
body.
not his
Yo,
ex-girlfriend.
Ben's gonna come
And you.
fuck you up, bro.
I am not your ex-girlfriend.
Ben is going to. I know. It's true.
Listen, I know you wish I was your
Oh,
ex-girlfriend.
that's very nice.
There it is.
That's very-
There-
no,
no
thanks. I
I'm
wouldn't
better
need-
as an ex-girlfriend.
I don't need the headaches. Yeah, I'll be hungover and stuff.
My
If I get
notice.
4 minutes, 4 minutes.
4 minutes? You need to find in 4 minutes. I'm trying this Facebook group though. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, it's the SEN Facebook group, and there's so much great content over there that fans post all the damn time, and it's awesome. So go over and check that out. Obviously, the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook group. I'm asking you on the air now, and you have to book it out a year in advance. Will you sing the national anthem at the Spectacular 5?
Yeah.
Okay, because Janine killed it. She was so.
Oh well,
she
you don't
was so
ask
good.
someone to do that something and then say the person
Someone did
before you.
really
have to.
good.
I mean, I was in the band from TV. We sang at the Emmys,
I
and
know.
I had to follow Pink.
Oh no.
And I was like, "Come on, dude! Like,
What? Look, you got a whole year to practice. You'll be good.
that's true." But it's a high. That's a not. Listen to my voice.
That's
It's
a
not
tough
like
song.
my range. I'd have to start like, oh.
That would be
Super
good.
At least I know the words, and I won't make a fool of myself.
Just do like a Barry White
I will.
rendition of it.
Oh, see, yeah.
I did that one. I did a one song. I did Bob Dylan yesterday.
No, that was great, man. That was pretty good.
There's ASM, man, Hound, and the Ghai and Bonnie.
K-U-Z.
Do you know what? I have a true story about singing the national anthem. A really quick story.
Where? What'd you do?
When I was on Code Black, they asked Marsha Gay Harden to throw the opening pitch, and one of the publicity people came up to me and said, "You sing, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Would you like to sing the national anthem at the Dodger game?" And I was like, "Oh my God, what an opportunity!" And I obsessed about it, and I was so nervous about it, and I was too nervous, and I actually
didn't do
passed. And then they went to my co-star Raza Joffrey, who's a lovely British actor. I don't know if you guys remember Homeland. Amazing actor. He also sang, but he was like a Broadway singer before. And I came in the next day and they said, actually, Raza's doing it. And then I tried to take it back. And I said,
No.
you're not allowed to do that, apparently.
He's not even American.
No, he's not American. He's not American. And I tried to take it back, and everybody was like, Bonnie, you passed.
You're done.
You then can't
No-
go to
no
the other
take-backsies.
actor and say, can I do it?
Yeah.
Because I was so mad at myself that I didn't
course.
stand up to the
Yeah.
challenge.
You always miss the shots you don't take.
Right.
Yeah.
So lesson learned.
Yeah. All right. So one of the lessons learned is to never doubt RB3 because he's got the song. Are you putting it in the actual? You're gonna put it in the route
I'm trying to.
because you can just play it from the computer.
Yeah, I could just play from the computer.
But you want to play it
Trying
in.
to make it
because
classy.
you like it
I'm
that
trying-
you like it that
I like
much.
to control it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no chance. So I made a bet with RB3, and did you watch the Mandalorian episode last night?
Yes,
You liar.
I am lying.
Yeah. Okay. So I win.
I will, though. I'm going to watch
I said
it.
I would eat that plastic cup and take a shit on the table if she
she-
would have watched
Wow.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Thank God.
Why do you go to
thank
that?
God
That's
you
your
didn't
go-to?
watch that.
If
was
it makes
it.
you feel any better, I lost a bet on the runtime of Star Wars and made me eat tuna macaroni and cheese. Like
And
that
shit
he
on the
just likes
table.
to-
Originally, it was supposed to be for $40.
It was for $5.
Tuna macaroni and cheese
$75.
is
What?
a delicacy in the
$5.
Midwest.
That's right.
That's a
It's
real
delicious.
dish.
It's delicious.
Hoy.
Just insulted
He
some
loved it.
Midwesterners.
He liked it so
That's-
much.
that's-
Oh, here we go. That's not it.
No, that's not it. I don't know what's funny.
That's the
It's a mac
throwdown.
and cheese song.
Yeah, that's the
There.
throwdown.
Mac and cheese, mac and cheese,
Get that tuna mac and cheese.
mac and cheese.
You ready? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So this song, I want you
wasn't
guys.
lying. You're
I want you to
hilarious.
listen to the lyrics of this song though too, because Ben the Bagel Boy has already had one song, but there's another. Here we go.
Well, boys, we hit the jackpot this time.
Okay. Hey.
Wait, you gotta listen.
Hey, ooh,
Okay.
hey, ooh. I ain't no frame, you ain't freezing my rate. Best believe you can't eat on my plate. Nah, best believe I got thoughts. Bonnie and the smoke bar, they jump on the chin, I'm ballin' like Kate. I'm teaching my son, yeah, but going on dates. I'm taking your money to buy me some chips. I'm stealing your bells and stealing your bags. Are you seeking no characters? Use StreamLab for your questions. Ben in the corner, when bodying around. I know he be hiding erections. They got Brett, he is savage, and Kate always wildin', and Kristian the spot on impressions. And if Winston or Bateman or Kristian show up, then that be one hell of a blessing. If we need some pics on the wall, then Brick gets a call. Just kidding, you funny too. But I got your girl on my slong. I can't stay too long. I gotta go watch the crew. Got RB3 on the cameras. We do not fuck with no amateurs. Y'all better make me a manager. I might just fly down from Canada. I ain't no frame, you ain't freezing my rate. Best believe you can't eat on my
Damn,
plate.
dude. This shit slaps.
Jesus.
Bonnie and the smoke bar, bother. Jump on the chin, I'm wildin' like Kate. I'm teaching my zone, yeah, but going on dates. I'm taking your money to buy me some chips. I'm stealing your bagels and stealing your bitch.
Hey! Hey!
Yes. Who's that? Who is that?
So we have the full name here too.
Oh my
Rick
Ross.
Are we three? You got the name.
Horse.
That
the
is
artist?
amazing.
Matthew Reed.
Matthew Reed.
Matthew
done-
Reed.
That was fucking fire.
He needs to write my theme music for next
for-
week.
Matthew
That
Reed.
is
do it.
So
Can you write a
fire.
song
Am I
about
al-
me? I want a song. I'm requesting a song
He just did a song.
I was gonna
about
say,
me.
It was about you.
That was
Bro.
about Ben.
I
About-
want
yeah,
him
but he said you give Ben erections. He said that in one of the lines.
He did.
I want him to write my faction theme music.
Yeah, talk to him,
As
man.
a matter of fact, can I just use that? 'Cause that was fucking
That's
fire.
amazing.
He's done a few. He did a couple for Collider Live back in the day, but that's the first one. He said he came out of retirement for SEN Live, so that was good. So
Fantastic.
So I'm hoping that the battles begin because now you got Jonas Gallegos, you got Matthew Reed, you got all these people.
I'm gonna have to
coming
write
back.
one.
You got to.
I know.
It's coming back.
Mine will be all about you.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's
Parking, you can't park, Mo.
and it's true. Then I deserve every bit of that. I want to get into some of these questions here. Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown and Super Chat. And RB3, let's go ahead and turn that bad bitch on, please, if you can. The SCHMOEBOT, she is...
You listen to one rap song and all of a sudden
Yeah,
everybody's a
that's
bad
right.
bitch.
Bad
That's
bitch.
right.
Wow.
The whitest guy on the planet.
That's
Dude,
right.
if you're gonna say that, at least say it with a little bit of like
No,
soul,
no.
bro.
Okay, fine. Here we go.
The bad bitch.
It's time, so turn out a bad bitch on. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Anybody else want to put on some rap tunes, hip hop nation?
NWA.
Yo, you're ready to take on Nick Cannon and Eminem, bro. His name is Kristian, and he's here to say,
Hey, everybody, it's nice to see you. Let's turn on the stream,
It's like that Andy
So
Samberg
great
thing.
having Bonnie on the show again. She has been in so many amazing things. But is she a thumbnail on Disney Plus? My boy, she diz. Drew better be in Brooklyn on January 25th. Kristian, I am going to see Sebastian in March because of your impressions.
That's awesome. You should, dude. You should.
Two
a lot
things
better than
first
that.
off, thoughts on Arrowverse taking a month off during Crisis, but as also having the show's progress in real time with this. Second, a PSA, J.J. Abrams dropped a full clip, but people are disguising it as a new trailer or TV spot. Hashtag you have been warned.
True.
My name is
Oh, so we got
John
a lot of
Paul
these coming up.
Jones.
Wow.
My friends call me John Paul Jones,
what can
so
we call
you
you?
can call me John Paul Jones.
Nice. So I have a little thing about that as far as Bachelor in Paradise goes. Just let people know. You're very excited
I'm
now.
so
Now,
excited.
now this is not. This is a very tentative, but it looks like. So if you know the show, even if you don't, we're going to bring on. Jared Habon actually hooked us up. Tasha from Bachelor in Paradise is going to
my
be on the
gosh.
show.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. And, but
Oof, Lord.
but it has nothing. I don't even know if we were talked to her about Bachelor in Paradise. To be honest, she's just a very cool girl. So we're gonna have her on, shoot the shit. But we're gonna get to streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. We'll get to all your questions, especially those ones you just asked there. Agent 666. Oh, you're looking at her.
I want to find her.
Do it. Oh my god.
Okay, we'll bring her up. We'll bring her up on the monitor.
Okay, great.
All right, bring her up.
Just,
Bring her up.
just put RB3. Just put in Tasha Bachelor in Paradise, please. I think it's TAYISHA, I believe. Tasha Bachelor in Paradise. So Agent 666 PTC. Who gets drafted first out of the known entrants who are unknown qualities? That was from yesterday's show. That's a wonderful. 1213. Excited to see you guys in Atlanta. I purchased an elite ticket on the first day, hoping to meet Bibiani and Clark Wolf, but I'm looking forward to it. Whoever's on the card. Yeah, we haven't done. There she is. There's Tasha.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Any one of those? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm free.
You're around. All right, yeah.
I can do the show. It's fine, man.
And she's just super. She's super fun. She's super fun. So we will be in Atlanta. We're going to be there on February 29th. Obviously, we don't know what the hell the card's going to be because we don't even know who, what managers are drafting who. That's going to determine a lot of it. We'll see who's matching up because January 25th in New York, in Brooklyn, is going to be a big one. That's right. We're going to have a big match there. The Intergeekdom Championship, Mara Kanopik playing the champion. And then there's an undercard. The undercard has not been announced yet, but it'll most likely be announced on Backstage next Thursday. So, but yeah, so the elite tickets always go real fast. They go super fast. They're out like that. So I'm glad that you got one. Swifty 2400 didn't want.
Real quick, I guess the Crisis comment. I was very pissed off at the fact that they decided to space that out. Just either do the event all at once or wait till the new year. Like set us up so it's going to start at the beginning of January. I don't like this idea of like starting half of it. Wait Christmas to New Year's and then come back to it.
Have you? I mean, a lot of TV does that though because of the breaks and stuff. Have you been watching? This Crisis stuff? You I know you watched. You had gone in for like the Flash, right?
Yeah.
At one point, because like there's the Flash.
It would have been so fun.
Yeah.
What role did you go for?
A new recurring scientist coming back.
Oh, nice.
New character.
That's awesome. Yeah, because
I loved it.
Well, this whole thing that they're doing, I mean, it's gotten so much attention, and people are.
You guys watching Batwoman?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I don't mind the writing and everything. I just don't think Ruby Rose was properly cast in the role.
Yeah.
It's
not
fitting.
She's
for
not
me.
a great actress.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
It's funny that it's just the moment type of person, and it's just like they just get
surprised.
Yeah.
heat and.
Her moments lasted a lot longer than I thought it would.
Well, it's what it is from what I hear, and this happened, and you know this. She's got a really great reputation as far as easy to work with, as far as
and works really hard and does her own stunts.
Does her own stunts. Is a hard worker. Is good in the
nice
room.
person.
I liked her in John Wick 2. Like I didn't have.
I mean.
It didn't bother me, just the way that they did the characterization. It didn't bother me. Like I liked her there, but there's something about this particular role. She's like trying so hard to be Batwoman that it's just.
I feel that's my problem with her in every movie. Like there's like, for example, in Terminator, Mackenzie Davis, right? She's never playing tough. She's just tough.
Yeah.
Linda Hamilton.
Well, that's the whole thing about acting. You're not supposed to play anything.
Right. And
Yeah.
Ruby Rose to me always
Ruby
Rose to me always seems like she's playing tough.
Yeah.
And like and I don't buy it. But I haven't seen any Batwoman, so I have no idea if it's.
Don't ask Jay. Does
he love it?
He hates it.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, James O says, "Hey, I'm new to the Schmoedown. Spectacular was the first live event that I ever watched. I'm just curious, is Ben a face? He seemed dickish while still competing, and it always seems like he and Kalinowski flip their roles during matches and go back after. Is that the case? Well, I think based on wrestling characters, there are faces, there are heels, and there are tweeners. I would say that Ben and Kalinowski, I think more so on the heel side of things, but I think that Ben can flip and be. I think Ben needs that edge because I think that when Ben was all the way on the side of babyface, he wasn't having a really good run. I think that even when he played Andrew, he had to flip it and kind of go into that thing that made him so good on action to give him that edge. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, he just doesn't have it quite in him to be a complete babyface. He doesn't like it. It's not as easy for him to play his game.
He needs a little.
Yeah, he needs just a little edge.
Something.
Yeah.
Got to give Ben some edge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll give you some edge, Benny boy. Come over here.
Not that Ben.
Different Ben.
Different Ben.
I know. I'm
You're just down for all the Bens.
That's right.
Any B name.
Yeah.
I like B names.
Well, James O. Well, I'm glad that it's a good question though, for sure. Knapsack's Ponytail said, "How did Disney acquire the rights to Hellboy and Aquaman's Manta to use in this week's Mandalorian?" That's funny. Of course, from the way that certain characters looked. We're going to get into that episode. I mean, shit, we can talk about it right now.
Baby Yoda thing is
everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't even believe. I mean, everyone in the world
knows about it, yeah.
Whatever level, A-listers. I'm looking at the tweets and Instagram. They're Baby Yoda.
Have you heard the song? Baby Yoda.
No, I can't. Don't
Baby Yoda. Have you heard it?
No, I don't want to hear it.
Oh my God.
If it's like Baby Shark,
I'll throw
myself off a building.
like
my
it's like a remix
2-year-old
almost to it,
loves this song.
That song, Baby Shark, made me.
It had. I think it had what 100 billion views or something.
I mean, it's great for
YouTube,
for a 2-year-old. But it's another song, right? They're just doing that too.
No, they're wrong.
Anyway,
Wow.
so that is Baby Yoda by
Yes, a 2-year-old would like that
a
song.
2-year-old loves it. She
Meanwhile,
goes,
secretly,
I
Christian's like Home Alone going, Baby Yoda.
in my underwear. That's what I call my
Oh, yeah.
private.
That's how you do your risky business.
That's what you call you call yours Baby Yoda, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I just said. That's what I just said. You didn't hear what I said. See, it's not my
guess
joke because you guys are too busy talking about yourselves.
That's
right.
What?
You're rats. But no, my 2-year-old absolutely loves it. And when I turned it off, pissed. Like, I want that Baby Yoda. Take it easy. Yeah.
So cute.
But look, let's talk about this episode. We'll talk about it right now. Mandalorian Mandalorian Chapter 6.
Mandalorian Chapter 6.
That's
Okay,
right.
nerds, let's go.
You got to lose the audience. You had them last time.
I say that with love. I say that with love.
I've never. You're gonna see remember that switch
Please
that
don't,
we had.
Please
remember,
don't. I got
Tom
trolled
Dagnino?
last week, and it was really upsetting. And
you got trolled last week here?
No, I got trolled from some random person, and I'm very lucky. Thankfully, I haven't gotten that many mean things, but this was so mean.
What did they say?
I don't even want to say, but it actually upset me to the point where I was engaging, and my friend was like, "Why are you engaging? Why are you doing it?" And I couldn't help it, and I could see when it happens to bigger people, like how do they deal with it on the regular?
That's the worst.
It's hard. It's hard to just walk away from it.
Yep.
Like
personally annihilating me, being like, "Remember when you had a career?" And
Jesus.
and I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah. So some people.
So I do love Baby Yoda, and I love all of you nerds. Okay.
All right. So listen, I wanted to what's that?
It's not me.
The hell was that?
Shit, that was
the
my.
hell are you watching, Kristian?
I made a video last night.
I doubt it's that.
You watch the weirdest porn, Kristian. I swear.
I made a little self tape last night. Excuse me.
What was that?
For an audition.
Did you go ahead and play it? RB3. Let's see.
There come those fans again.
No, you saw the episode here. Myself, Winston, and RB3 did see it. It's a non-spoiler review for everybody. So if you're watching this on the Clip Outs channel or on just in channel in general, this is a non-spoiler review. RB3, the director of this episode.
Yeah, Rick Famuyiwa,
who you like very much, and you loved his second episode. Would you say this is on par with what he did with the second episode?
I almost actually would say it's better than the second episode.
Happy Friday, guys. Great to see Andrew, Winston, and RB3. Kristian, those glasses increases your IQ 100 points. Bonnie makes my schlong very happy today. Hello, Schmoeville. Pardon the interruption. In honor of Rise of Skywalker, I bought my favorite strain of Skywalker Og. Stay 420. Sending peace and love.
You got to separate it out, though. It thinks it's a word. You got to put O and G.
Yeah. So, all right, RB3. So the episode.
Yeah. I don't even know how we follow that.
Now all he's thinking about is getting home.
Right. Yeah, this episode is really cinematic. I feel like that was a big compliment that I gave to the last episode because Rick Famuyiwa, obviously USC graduate, got a salute, fight on. But also he's a guy who's done a lot of movies, so this felt like a very cinematic, self-contained episode. So I was a big fan of it.
I agree. I loved the episode. Coming off of last week, which I was not a big fan of last week, and like I said, I just thought Amy Sedaris was completely. I know you're.
I worked with her, yeah.
I think she's great.
Yeah.
I think she was completely miscast.
I know.
Last week,
I agree.
For sure.
I have no idea what that was about.
Yeah, but
it's not her thing.
Yeah, but she. But anyway, so this episode though, to me, it's very episodic. There's no doubt about it. The show has proven that it's more of an episodic thing. It's kind of adventure of the Mandalorian itself. But I thought it felt. It felt like it just locked into the Star Wars universe, and I like what Rick did. I like the way it worked. It almost became like a horror movie at one point, and the way that they set up each scenario, and I like that a majority of it takes place in space, which is really cool. And then you see different alien species, but it wasn't so misleading. A lot of them are talking basic or English throughout the whole thing, and it wasn't where I needed them to speak alien because it fit for me. And I thought Bill Burr was incredible in the role. I mean, there's some people had problems with Bill Burr. I thought Bill Burr was awesome. I thought that he fit like and I was talking to Rocco about it this morning, who hated the episode, and he's like, how does he have a Boston accent? I'm like, how does a Twi'lek have an English accent? He's speaking like he's in Europe. What are you talking about? It's like that's everybody.
But see, I would fight Rocco on that in the sense that like. People get pissed off and they're like, well, Michael B. Jordan can't play Superman. Well, here's the thing. Superman's a fucking alien. He can look whatever, talk whatever.
You're saying
no, but it's the same thing about the Boston accent. He could be from a Boston planet, like that, which is terrifying. But, but he could be from a Boston planet. It is what it is. So like that doesn't bother me. What bothered me, and we talked about this, was the one Twi'lek. It like drove me.
You
crazy.
thought she was too over the top.
It was too much. It was too much.
I didn't mind her because again, like I said, there were some times it started to fit inside the character. But I liked what she did. I will also tell you that there's some cameos in it that I thought there was one when I actually audibly went, yes. That was great at the very towards the end there. But no, I think that this actually further, there's more stuff inside of this that furthers the plot. And there's stuff that I think that I want to know, though, what the big overarching story is. We know with the baby and all that, we get that, but you got to give me a little bit more soon. Maybe this season's just a couple side of adventures, and that's okay. But for the most part, I mean, the way that it was directed, the music, furthering the Mandalorian.
I was going to say the character development, I think, is the big part of it, because you do see what kind of code that the Mandalorian will have, how much he's willing to tolerate, and before he gets frustrated. And I love seeing how much fight there is in this character. Like the second episode, you see him get really, really beat up like throughout this entire episode, but he still keeps fighting and you still keep seeing that ambition.
It adds to the reputation of the Mandalorians.
Exactly. So it furthers the mythology, it furthers the character.
Yeah.
Still not a lot in terms of plot, like you said, but I'm honestly just cool if the first season is just like, here are the adventures of the Mandalorian. So when we get into the second season, it's more of like a serialized thing.
Because you know him so well and you've been attached to him so much that when there's a bigger through line, it makes sense.
Him and Baby Yoda.
My guess is these last, because it's only 8 episodes, right? This season.
There's 2 more. So Deborah Chow does the next week, and then Taika Waititi finishes it off.
Is Baby Yoda gonna have a spinoff?
The spinoff, I think this is his spinoff.
This is his show. This is 100% his show.
Okay. I just gotta make sure I text my agent. I need to know all this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Pilot season's coming up.
Right. I think that these last 2 episodes is probably going to be one of those 2-parter, like this is wrapping up what's been going on with the kid and everything else like that. That would be my guess, is that maybe they didn't want to, or they couldn't find a way to have it go on throughout the entire season, so they just kind of like will bookend it with him, and and then like you said, let be the adventures of Mando.
Well, whatever it is, I think so we were ranking them before RB3 and I had this one as my second favorite out of the entire season. I think the first one was Deborah Chow's episode, chapter 3 was my favorite, then this one, and I think it was Rick's chapter 2, and then chapter 1, and then my least favorite was 5, because 4 was okay. It was the one with Gina Carano, which I thought she was pretty good too. But anyway, so that's the overall. I think that it's definitely worth the watch. I think it's back to form of what I thought was so special about The Mandalorian in general. What do you guys think? Have you watched it yet? If you're watching on the replay, please leave a comment. If you haven't been to the Clip Outs channel, please go on over to the Clip Outs channel and subscribe over there. I think there's almost close to 3,000 people over there. We clip out parts of the show every single day. You can also listen to the show on podcast form. I will be doing a spoiler-heavy review and a watch along of The Mandalorian a little later today, so look out for that. Jumping back over here to Fantastic Beefs. I freaking love the Mandalorian episode, but are you guys at all concerned that they've already written and started production on season 2 before getting a sense of what has and hasn't worked with the fans with season 1? No, I don't get that at all. I mean, that means that they have confidence in themselves of what they think works and what doesn't, and they're actually, Favreau and Filoni, they get Star Wars, they know what they're doing, so I trust them, because season 1 they didn't have any ideas of what the fans liked and didn't. They just went with it.
I mean, also writers' rooms, I don't think they realize they can change shit on a dime. Like my sister's a writer, and I'm staying with her right now. Like, she literally is like, I have to throw everything out and do it all tonight. Like, they can flip it on a dime, so they'd be fine. If something really works,
that's why they're in there until 3 a.m. most nights, and they haven't slept since when it's someone's episode. They don't sleep.
Right.
It's just constant notes from the network, constant changes. And then we get pages, and you're like, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
that's
everything I learned.
No, that shit drives me crazy. You get on set and you're like, all right, cool, let me. Oh,
they took out that joke.
Well, that's I asked for both you guys as far as acting.
Did anyone have a problem with the makeup of the Twi'leks?
I didn't. I liked the Twi'lek makeup. I thought it was good, and that was the other argument I had with Roku this morning. He's like Clancy Brown's character was out of Star Trek. I'm like, Clancy Brown's character was out of Episode 4, New Hope. If you ever seen New Hope, he's in the background. He's one of those characters out in the background. It's the first time that I remember seeing that character. That species has been around for a long time.
What did John say? Did he just hit you?
Well, he this morning he and I have been texting every week about it. He's been a big fan of the show, but he didn't like today's episode, and that's cool. And I told him, it was actually one of my favorites. He really liked Amy Sedaris last week, and I said I couldn't disagree more. I thought she was terrible in the episode. And he didn't like Bill Burr, so we're just kind of the opposite pages. But I want to go back to both actors here. How challenging is that though for you guys? Like you get like there's this entire script, like the memorization tool of what you have to do. Like how do you even train for that? Let's start with
her.
All right.
I don't memorize anything until the day of. Like I get this, in the morning they call them sides and they bring them to you and they're like little mini scripts this big and it's just the scenes you're doing that day.
Yeah.
So I'll read the script over and over and just get a sense of it. And then only that day in the morning will I learn for that day. Yeah. And then once that day is over, it's gone. I couldn't
you can't bring it back.
I couldn't tell you what I said, but I don't memorize an entire script. I don't know many actors that would do that. It's not in television because it changes every night. Like if the network doesn't like it, or especially in sitcoms. In sitcoms, you get pages. I mean, I remember before email, it's old dinosaur era, waking up in the morning and there'd be 3 envelopes, vanilla envelopes of Friends scripts. Like they had done 3 more rewrites during the night. And like an entire scene would be completely changed, or you're not in it anymore. Or
yeah, see, that's got to be terrifying, especially back then when you're up and coming, and it's like that you're on that hit show,
really
right? You don't want to mess up.
Yeah, that's why I think learning. I mean, I studied Meisner technique, which is all about like in the moment,
right?
Not too much prep in that way, because it just keeps you really able to go, oh, okay, this changed, or like how would I react in this moment, as opposed to being so. I've worked with actors that are so prepared and hung on, and their notes are like a beautiful mind, they're on the script, and you're like
that's gonna change.
That's not even gonna be here later, and how you don't even know what I'm gonna give you. So it's I like to just work in a more loose kind of in the moment way, but that works for me because I have a really good memory. That said, I can't remember what I was doing at 8 o'clock last night.
Right, but
you didn't remember your keys about
I
30 minutes ago.
I have Alzheimer's.
How much
Just
caffeine
wanted
do you
to
need?
say hi to the goat Andrew Ghai the First will always be a fan, unlike Jake and Kelsey.
Oh yeah. So wait a minute.
Hashtag Action Army.
All right, so
Salute.
Before you answer that, the question, the acting question, I do have to bring this up. So, Andrew, this tournament match against Shazam, there was this big thing that happened at the very end of it. You shocked the entire Schmoedown community, said you were retiring from the Schmoedown, not going to play anymore. Now, some of the Action Army didn't take kindly to that. There was there was few that took your shirt, the Champ Slum shirt. They threw it in the garbage. They said that they're no longer going to support Andrew Ghai. These are hardcore supporters. How did you take that?
This is like the end of like Gladiator. So when you're trying to find who's actually loyal supporters, I'm going to execute everyone else. That's exactly where we're at right now.
Right.
So we just did it for not even 24 hours,
and they were
didn't
just
even
turning
they
their back.
bounced.
Yeah.
So now we know. Now we know who to actually rely on, who we can say is truly on my side.
Right.
They've outed themselves. Fickle are the fans.
Fickle fans.
Yeah, because
they turn on you. They turn.
Let's talk about that too, because when that happened in the moment, I didn't know that was
nobody knew.
Nobody knew, and I talked about it a little bit on Backstage yesterday, which is up right now. And I said my personal opinion on the matter was that you because people don't understand, you're a great character in this game. We know that. We know that what you brought to this thing, the amount of character, the idea you upped the game and made people want to up their game because of everything you did. And I also gave you props in the fact that like you're one of the few people, I get a lot of suggestions about character, and a lot of times I go, thank you for suggesting it, but no thanks. With you, we have very good conversations a lot of times because I think that you understood the character very well and knew where I wanted to go with it. So I believe, and to correct me if I'm wrong, that inside of that moment, that day when you said you were retiring, you were down on yourself because you take this game very serious. You do study. You do. You're never going to do like what a Ben Bateman or Kalinowski does. Who the hell, or Smets? Who the hell can do that?
Time for that.
No, but you do. You were down on yourself, and I think because you have this relationship with McQueenie, that you felt bad that you let him down. And I think in that moment, because you're an emotional player, I was an emotional player, Roka's an emotional player, that in that moment, it all hit you and you decided that would be best. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a couple parts to it. That's definitely a good amount of it. The other thing is that I really hate when I miss questions that I know. And the Wild Wild West question was one where I talked myself out. For some reason, I just convinced myself that Kenneth Branagh had directed it. And even then, I was so convinced that he directed it that I decided not to write Wild Wild West, which was the only answer it could have been. That or Men in Black because of what the desk said. Right. So anyway, there's moments like that. And then in the prior match, I'd missed two that really bothered me just because I couldn't get there in my head. The Descent is literally my favorite horror movie. It truly is. Right. So that stuff gets to me. And McQueenie being the level of player that he is, I feel like he deserves to be with someone that, I mean, that guy should just have a belt at all times. Right. Like he just should. He's so
one
goddamn
of the
good at
team
the
players,
game,
like ever.
Yeah. And it just I don't know. I think it just kind of started to wear on me. Yeah. It really did. And I love the game, but I don't like holding people back, and it felt like I was holding McQueenie back, and at moments felt like I'd held Ben back.
Jake from Atlanta checking in from traffic on I-20. Love the show and can't wait to see you guys in Atlanta. FYI, stay away from the varsity. RB3, let's get some strip club lemon pepper wings, my friend.
Awesome.
You know what that is.
I know what that is, bro.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Either way, though, Andrew, I wanted to thank you for everything that you did for the SCHMOEBOT in general.
Yeah.
So it was a
good run.
Yeah, it was a good run.
You're not going back?
Yeah, it was an emotional moment.
Ever?
You never say never. You never know what can happen. But
Never, ever.
Yeah, but you also want to give people their time.
Yeah.
So it is a pleasure to have Andrew in studio today, and you could see him on the table and things too. Bonnie is going to be in the draft next year, which is awesome.
That's
Winston
exciting.
Marshall.
I was like a wreck. I didn't even think I'd care, and I was so upset that I got out in final death.
It was sudden death. Her
Sudden
and
death, the
Janine.
stupidest, and I knew the answer too, and I just doubted myself.
You did that
crazy
twice.
how much it gets to you.
It
Really does.
It does. It does.
Because then if you study like Ben and Mike do, and you know the answer, and that gets to you exponentially more,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because you're like, I've read this 100 times, I've seen the movie 20 times,
Yeah.
and my brain didn't get there for some reason.
It drives you nuts.
It drives you absolutely crazy.
R. Clay Johnson. Hey guys, I love the show. I just had a podcast partner bail on me in mid-project. Have any of you experienced something like this? Even if you haven't, how do you think it would be to handle it? Continue on without them, or scrap it and try something new? It's a great question.
I was gonna say,
you're the podcast king.
I was gonna say, would you guys? That kind of goes back into the whole acting conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like how much you have to depend on other people to make things work.
Yeah,
I feel like is a big part of it.
Well, I was working with a crew of my best friends, doing we started with a web series, but we were just doing a bunch of comedy sketches and whatnot, and then all of a sudden they all were like, yeah, we don't really want to do comedy anymore. We want to go shoot like these short films. Like originally we were just going to do the one and then come back to doing it. And they were like, yeah, we don't want to go back to that at all. And so I still love them, but I don't work with them at all anymore.
Right.
And we've both found our successes in different areas, but it was painful at first because I was like, so that fucking sucks. Like I put all this time and energy and like money into this group, and now it's not a thing anymore.
Well, that's why even when Bonnie and I had dinner like 2 weeks ago, and I said that was the whole thing when it came to podcasting for me. It's like, because I've just been through this dance so many times. I said, well, and I asked her, I said, well, there's certain things, because her idea for her show is brilliant. It's a great idea, and there's things on the side.
We still have to talk about it.
Yeah, and it's just there's things that I want to make sure, because of my schedule and things, I don't want to be that person that commits to something.
And also you have your own brand, you have your own style. So yeah, you want to make sure, and and also doing anything with friends is really, honestly, it's a 50-50 toss up.
Yeah.
Because friends, you love them, it's like family. Like if things go wrong, you're fucked.
That's the thing. And so you want to make sure that you are upfront and clear with people of like what it's going to be,
expectations,
expectation. How is it going to work? What's the idea for the show? What's everything to lay it out? Because I think a lot of times people just want to, and this is a completely different scenario with Bonnie and I, but there are some people who just want to start out and they grab their friend, they go, let's just do this, but they don't think about the things that come with it.
Right.
Well, I got a question. Do you find it worse to partner up with a friend and then find out you don't work well together in like that kind of professional manner and have things go bad that way, or to start working with a friend, find out you work out great, and then have one of the two of you bail, and then that kind, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the.
Well, you and Mark are like an example of something working. I mean, like the fact that you guys are still work together through all of your life changes, that is like a really rare.
It's very rare.
Very rare.
It's very rare. Mark is one of the best partners that I've ever worked with in this space, because we cancel each other out. We know our weaknesses and our strengths, and we that's it. You learn that though. You got to learn that.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Right. Yeah, we got lucky. We just kind of built we got in at the right time. We built the thing together. We understood, like he knew my strengths are, and there are times I knew what I could do to further the brand, and he knew at times, like there's many times I had with Mark where he's just like, he'll be the guy like, well, wait a minute, think about this. And he's that kind of voice of reason sometimes, to where one of the few people, very similar to what I was talking about with you, when it comes to like story things, Mark will say things to me and I'll go, no, he's right. I got to think about it that way, and then because you know me, I can be stubborn in my ways. I get it. But
what?
Yeah, right.
No.
I'm
you?
I'm like you.
You don't, sir.
I'm like you.
Doesn't care.
but
like
but
me.
for
He
Mark,
wants to throw it back like you.
it's true. Are you not that way? Are you not that way?
When it comes to my ideas, I am very stubborn, and it's hard for me to take.
So yes, you are that way.
notes.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Right.
But I'm not stubborn in real life like you.
Please.
It's important to have that person. I mean, I feel like Ben and I work very similarly. I mean, he's one of the few people that will
Hey,
get me to just...
Kristian RB3, Winston, Andrew, and the gorgeous Bonnie, it's Haskell.
Oh,
Hello.
RB3, check your Twitter, I sent you something.
Oh,
and for Bonnie, if your agent ISNT doing
Isn't
everything they can to get you in a movie with Brie Larson to play sisters, hire a new agent.
I
Wow,
wish.
Did you get Brie Larson?
I got that actually just the other day. Yesterday, someone said, "Do you know you look like Captain America?" And I thought they meant
Captain Marvel.
Sorry, Captain Marvel. And I at first
Slap
thought
that person in the
at first
face.
I thought they meant a man, and I was shocked. And they went, "No,
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel." And I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah.
Yeah. What is my agent doing? Hello.
Well, if they did say Captain America, I see what you wanted to say.
Write them and tell them that. Write your
not even-
agent. Tell
it's
them
not
that
even
Ed
the agents,
Haskell
it's the business.
says that you need to
Ed
be in a
Haskell?
movie. Yeah,
Okay,
Ed Haskell.
I will.
So finish what you're saying about Ben, and there's a very good possibility that SchmoeBot can interrupt you again.
It's important to find the person that really gets you to shut the hell up and listen to another side of things, and to find the person that does see the other side of the coin. And it's pretty rare, but I think your friend did you a favor by leaving now, because it's going to be a lot shittier and a lot harder, and there's going to be way lower times than when you just started off. And if they're already bailing when you start, that's not a person that you want to double down on and work with for years. And then, as you know, with Schmoedown, you've had many ups and downs. The next down that comes, you want a person that's going to really help you pull yourselves out of it, because
partnership.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be days when I'm not excited about action industries, and days when Ben isn't excited, and we have to help each other, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah. It's dedication. You're taking part of your life and you're putting everything into it. So it's, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and people sometimes don't want to do the work. So they did you a favor now.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Don't give up on your dream. Whatever it is you want to do, don't give up.
Totally agree. All right, getting into ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. Does it give you hope that the Masters of the Universe movie will be better than expected, since Christopher Yost wrote the movie and helped write this episode of The Mandalorian? Plus, shout out to Bill Burr for doing a great job acting-wise. Well, I mean, the Masters of the Universe stuff, I'm not going to get any hope for until I hear that it's actually happening, and it's real, and they've started production and they're doing all that, because that movie's been through so many different phases and people don't know how to make it work. But yeah, I think the writing of this episode, if they can take that kind of seriousness with a couple of the jokes, the way that they did it in this episode, play that towards Masters of the Universe, absolutely, I think it could be good for sure. And Bill Burr did do a great job. He follows it up by saying, I thought that Rick knocked it out of the park with this episode. It gave me a Mission Impossible and, again, Batman vibe as well. It was fun hearing nods and references to other Star Wars lore, too. Yeah, see, I like that. I like the idea that they went back and there's a lot of original trilogy type things, but it didn't beat you over the head with it. It was just nice nods if you picked up on it. Did you like that also?
No, I did. I think that it was very subtle, which that's what you want to look for, in the sense that, that's kind of what I liked about Rogue One, too. Like, I mean, there was obviously some direct stuff, but there's a lot of just, like, little stuff. You go, oh, that's how that connects. Oh, that's how that connects. So, yeah. No, I liked it.
Okay, and now we have, let's see, sorry. It's Always Sunny in Philly. Yo, fam, Winston, that shirt's great. Can you find that online? And if so, do they have 4 extra large, fat guy size? Guy, Kristian, no, that doesn't say that at all. Nice glasses. Guy, great to see you back on here. Great heel.
Oh, you don't want me to answer that? Okay.
You will. Let me finish. I got to finish the whole thing.
There's more. I thought
the
that
whole
was
thing.
okay.
I mean, everything's online.
Yeah, great to see you back on here. Great heel, but a great dude when I met you back in August in New York. Kristian, your Pacino kills me always. We'll start with Winston. The shirt is great. Can you find it online?
Probably, if I remember correctly, though, I got this from Hot Topic, because I had to go to you know what it is.
Amazon has everything, guys.
But
I thought you were the Schmoebot for a second.
Amazon has everything.
Oh my God, I thought that was the fucking Schmoebot. Amazon has everything.
Yeah.
You guys have to know when
Slunk,
you want to
slunk,
get a
slunk,
Christmas
slunk.
card, get it on Amazon.
I know.
Also, Kristian's glasses are great.
It's really good.
But yeah, no, you can definitely find it online. I get one every year, because we always go to an ugly sweater party of some sort, and that's what I got this for. But
How about that Walmart fiasco with the Santa doing the lines of cocaine. Did you see that one?
Wait, what?
Oh yeah. I did see that. I did see that.
It was just a Santa Claus sitting, and someone designed
apologize for it.
3 lines of snow, and it literally looks like 3 lines of cocaine, and Santa's just sitting there.
Yeah.
But it turns out it wasn't even a Walmart. It was a third party that like linked or tweet or something to Walmart, and Walmart ended up apologizing, but it was like it wasn't even their sweatshirt.
wasn't even
I said they shouldn't have apologized because that thing's selling like hotcakes.
And it sure was. Well, so it's so funny because Rick Ingram, very funny comedian, good buddy of mine. You saw him at back in the day in the Schmo. You thought he was one of the funniest ones ever, and he just does pure improv. But he was on David Spade's show, and you see it. It's like worse than that as far as that the graphic goes. And he goes, I just like to thank Walmart for experiencing no expense on the Santa Claus. it was so good.
It's so bad, and
good.
it's so. I have to show you.
It's great.
So bad, but
it's great.
Yeah, so they shouldn't have said it wasn't theirs. I mean, I'm sure that
No, I know, but either way, yeah, that was going around, bouncing around. But
how does that design even get by? I don't know.
But Andrew Ghai is a nice guy. It's true.
I mean, the same way that they put what was it, American Apparel, and with the coolest monkey in the jungle with the little black kid.
What the hell?
Like that's because nobody actually checks this shit. They just
right. Like, nobody will get offended by that. ZCM Zombie Custom Maps also says, can we have the Schmoedown version of Ghai? Where's Ghai as Bill Cosby.
Whoa, no.
Wait, no.
I think already no.
No. Bill. I know what he's asking. He's asking you to do your Bill Cosby, but as Andrew Ghai, and then me as Stallone reviewing Ford versus Ferrari.
Ooh.
Oh no. See, this is really strangely worded. Ghai by himself, you're Bill Cosby, and then I'm Stallone reviewing Ford versus Ferrari. So you start off hosting and basically saying you've got Bill Cosby here and Stallone. Guys, what'd you think of Ford versus Ferrari?
We got a really, really exciting and interesting show today, honestly. Bill has made a venture outside of his steel cage to come and let us know what he thought of Ford Ferrari, and also to join us, someone who I love, no offense, Bill, but also kind of offense, Bill, Sylvester Stallone. How are you guys doing today?
Great. I was driving and talking about movies driving.
Well, you see, when you get inside a Ford, you really want to just gas it down because you got to understand that sometimes you just want to putting pop while you're racing your car.
Yeah, but you look Bill, and Bill's so good, and you look and say, hey, you make the 20, hey, look out! Next thing you know, everything's good.
Well, see, I found that the wife of Christian Bale was just so beautiful. I just couldn't take my eyes off
Bill,
her.
I don't like the way you're talking about these people because you're looking like a fairy shit, and the next thing you know, everything's fine.
All right.
I was fighting every urge to say anything about a Quaalude.
I know, that's what
I just
You said when you get inside a Ford, I was like, oh, no, here we go already. Where are we going with this? Gas them up.
Just gas it up.
All right.
That's the shittiest. God damn it.
What's wrong?
What? Are you upset?
Just that whole legacy. It's just sad.
all gone.
Yeah.
It's just all gone.
I can't even believe it.
But
You know,
the
he
funny thing.
played a gynecologist in the.
I know.
I know.
That's what makes
I
it
know.
funniest to me.
And his office was in the basement. You do know that, right?
Yeah,
You
of his
remember that
house.
shit?
Yeah, I lived in that neighborhood too. And
Well,
Get in the basement. Get
claim such a everyone loved that show.
Yeah, I know. Two Finger Toots. As requested yesterday, I made a new SEN song. It's in the Facebook group. I guess that was Two Finger Toots. The Bagel Boy, Matthew Reed. We
Two
played
Finger
it.
Toots.
Yeah, Two Finger Toots.
How do you get that nickname?
That's an old Schmoes reference. Two Finger Toots. It's Always Sunny in Philly. Bonnie is back. Knew I'd watch this episode for a reason.
Oh.
I kid. I don't even miss an episode even if I have to watch on replay. I saw Jumanji 2 last night. I thought it was a lot of fun and a fun follow-up. Then I saw Black Christmas and thought that was terrible. Did you see him? I'm going to see Jumanji 2 pretty soon because I did like the first one a lot with The Rock. It was pretty damn good. But this one I'm just nervous about that accent. I'm just really him and
There's an accent?
Yeah, because he's playing like. If you remember, did you see the first Jumanji that came out?
Yeah.
So what? Danny Glover and DeVito are now in the game and being The Rock and Kevin Hart. So they're kind of having to pretend to be them.
Why did we have to remake it?
So it wasn't a remake. It wasn't a remake.
This is a sequel to the remake.
No, but it's not, it wasn't a remake.
Oh yeah, I guess it wasn't. It
so
was
the last movie they did with The Rock, it was a sequel to the Robin Williams one. It was a sequel, and at the end of the Robin Williams one, the game like brushes up on a beach. So it continues from that point on, and it's actually really good. And they make it a playthrough video game. The thing that doesn't make sense to me was when the kid jumped into The Rock. He sounded like The Rock. He didn't have an accent.
Right.
He wasn't talking like. I think it was The Rock.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it was The Rock saying, "I want to try to sound like Danny DeVito and everything too." And it's like, and The Rock is one of the hardest working people out there, man. He'll try and he'll do everything he can, but and I haven't seen the movie, but the trailers, I'm like, oh, please don't talk like that the entire movie. That's going to drive me crazy.
Well, I love Kevin Hart's doing his old man voice because his jokes about that are hilarious. Like, you know what I'm talking about? There was one in particular where he's talking about his driver is old as hell.
No.
Okay, so he's like, we got to do a fast getaway, but he has to do all his checks. He'll be like,
yeah.
Let's go.
His line in the first one, it made me laugh so hard when they were going through. He's like, they show the weaknesses. He's like, all right, my weakness is this. Cake. Yeah. Cake. My weakness is cake. That was hysterical. Really funny.
I hate that I missed that question, but it was the Black History Showdown, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But that was one of the questions. Was like, what was his weakness?
Oh
and
my
me
God,
and Jay looked at each
one?
other. Me and Jay looked at each other like, this ain't a black ass movie. What the fuck is this? Just because it has Kevin Hart in it, it's some bullshit.
I can say I didn't write that one. PC. Hello, everyone. Lisa May just had her last day on the radio. Been listening to her since '97. Sad day for Los Angeles. So Lisa May, someone I worked with a lot over at the Frosty, Heidi, and Frank show. She's a sweetheart. I guess, and she's calling it a day, and that happens in careers, man. She's been doing it for a long time, and we wish her well here too. Lisa May's awesome. So sorry. Hi, Kristian, Bonnie, and Winston. I guess. Oh yeah, there's a question for you too. Plus the one bastard who made Army cry out in distress on Friday. Drew, you know what you did. You made us Action Army First Ladies cry. Thanks a lot. #Action Army.
I do love watching people cry.
Yeah, you do.
That's
kind of the point
it's
of it.
just beautiful.
Did you think about them when you made that announcement?
I'll be honest. I don't think I thought about anyone other than myself, and I felt kind of bad. I should have talked to McQueenie about it beforehand, but I didn't know 100% if I was going to do it or not. It was just in the moment,
right.
Which is funny because you and I were texting, and you're like, people tell me I'm such a bad actor, talking about you, which is funny because you had no idea. No one did.
That was my favorite. Is like normally I'll get some nice responses about how I could sell it, and like, oh, he didn't sell that at all. Like you could tell that this is all planned up to it, and then you see Ellis literally say, I can tell you had no idea this was happening. And I said, I had no idea this was happening. And everyone's like, oh, he's faking it. He knew him. I didn't know shit.
He's not that good.
Thank you. And then I said to him, but I even said to you, though, after the Paddington 2 thing, right, which we should also talk about. But the Paddington 2, there was no talk of retirement there when that happened. You know, it was one of those things that
it's just been something that's been on my mind for a while. And I don't know. I guess I felt bad. I felt like I let McQueenie down.
Right.
The ladies must be very disappointed about this one, I'm going to say.
The First Ladies were. The Action Army First Ladies were very sad. It was sad to watch them cry because I love all of them.
What did you think about that? So Matt actually did the unthinkable. After they had won the match, he challenged it. He was on the winning team, and he challenged it because of it. What were your thoughts about the challenge, the way it went down?
Do you remember us running into each other after it happened?
Yeah,
really quick backstage.
I told you. I said I want you to turn on.
Well, no. Well, after that, you and I go. We bump into each other. Would you have done that? I'd never fucking do that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No way.
It's like, why would you?
No way.
You play to win the game.
You play to win. Yeah. And even though it was honorable, here's the thing. Upon review, you go back and you watch the match.
He was wrong.
He was 100% wrong.
Yeah.
He was 100% wrong. It
was just too muddled at that point.
It was and the questions, there'd already been moments throughout the match, which is why you understand the ruling in the room, because there'd already been about 3 moments earlier with challenges and questions written wrong and the wrong answers, where it's just like, really? Right. Now on the biggest question and the biggest moment, it's gonna be messed up. So he goes and they asked us a question about the Dirty
quarterfinals
Dozen
match in the tournament.
It says in the Dirty Dozen, who in the Dirty Dozen is the sole survivor? And we give the wrong answer, and we lose, and then he challenges it. He challenges it after they've won. He goes in the mic. He goes, "I'm sorry, I can't win that way." Lee Marvin did survive at the end of the Dirty Dozen. There were multiple survivors, but the question was written perfectly. It was totally fine. And it says which of the Dirty Dozen in the Dirty Dozen. So it specifies which people in the movie, not an overarching title. But if you're going to challenge your own win in studio, live, in the finals, the quarterfinals, how do you not give them the ruling if you're one of the judges? After all the shit that's happened in the match, the guy that's going to win is going to tell you, no, I can't win that way. That's wrong. You have to ask him another question. It's hard not to go... It's hard not to listen to the guy.
Because would he have argued it for it
why?
again?
What does he have to lose?
Right.
Everything. What do we have to gain? Everything.
Right. Because So
but I think that's exactly why though. Like I understand what he's saying about I don't want to win that way. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows this. I play dodgeball, and it's the same thing where it drives me crazy when people don't take their outs, because at the end of the day, you're also like, while this means a lot, it's also like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Honor.
So like I get it.
In his head, that's what he thought, but he challenged the wrong question.
Well, I agree.
It's their gameplay.
It's
their gameplay issues, because he would have never challenged that had he played the game correctly.
Or if he had a manager.
If he had a manager in the game. Yeah. But much love to Chastity.
Thank you, Call to Action. Beep poop. Okay. Suge Knight 323. Morning, everyone. What's up, Guy? Mando 6 was awesome, but why is everyone complaining about that? It feels like that show is not going somewhere. The last 2 episodes are probably going great. Let's just enjoy the ride. Bonnie, it's great having you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's the same way I felt, is that in the last, I do want to know where it is going to go eventually, but if this is what the season is, this season of the standalone, the Mandalorian, he needs a job, these people, because I also think what's going to happen after we've met Gina Carano, we've met some other people along the way, we meet some people in this episode, I think those people are going to come back, and that's how it's going to all tie together.
No, I think so. The fact that like he's now on the run from the guild, like that's... Right. That is the storyline, in my opinion, is that he's pissed off what's remaining of the Empire by having the kid, and he's pissed off the guild, so it's just him against the world now, or the universe.
And he just needs to build, and it's eventually he'll get, and I don't want to spoil, but there's another thing that was introduced this time around that I think will show its face. Knapsack's Ponytail is back. Where would you rank Shazam on the best Christmas movies list? Would you put Shazam as a Christmas movie?
It's tough because it totally is.
Christmas.
You think so?
It is definitely
okay. Same way I guess you would do for like Die Hard.
That argument.
What? Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
100%.
There it is.
So is Friday After Next.
You don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
I don't think of it as a Christmas movie.
It's
no.
100% a Christmas movie.
Never did.
Yeah.
Never did. I know.
It's not a family Christmas.
You know,
I'll
hop on the Bonnie Somerville train here.
It's not a Christmas movie.
I know, man. I'm the same.
Christmas is in the movie, but it's not a Christmas movie.
So then I
should know. I've done 3 Hallmark Christmas movies, and those are really Christmas movies.
You have done family Christmas movies. There's a difference between family Christmas movies and Christmas movies.
Just because there's a tree in the friggin' house or whatever, that's a Christmas
movie.
movie.
It literally takes place at Christmas. The whole plot is like, I'm gonna try and go spend time with my ex-wife that I'm about to get divorced and my baby, and they get kidnapped, and now all of a sudden I gotta save them, coming through the events like Santa Claus.
This argument never ends for
it'll
30 years. It will never end.
So
we'll just keep having it. But I disagree.
That's fair.
Well, so I mean, the
agree
same
to
argument
disagree.
would be
Agree to
Shazam.
disagree.
So Shazam.
Shazam.
You'd feel the same way then.
I feel the same. Yeah, when I think Shazam, I don't think Christmas movie. I think of, wow, that was a really good DC movie that happened in 2019.
Right.
That's what I think. That everyone forgets about. I feel like everyone forgot that it came out earlier this year. It feels like last year.
Yeah, it came out of the spring.
Exactly.
Well, that's the
I
problem.
love
Everyone does.
Well, we already have an announcement for the second one. Comes out now. When RB3 on the 2022 is that when they announced it? And right after Black Adam.
2 weeks after Black Adam.
See, I like that. I like that idea a lot because it's going to tie in a lot more. There's going to be more stuff that happens there. I think DC really has a lock now on what they're doing with their movies. I think bringing this out in 2022 would be 3 years after the original, and then you have Black Adam at the same time. I like it.
We just talk about it's going to be 2020, just for 1 second.
It's so crazy.
Like we are not. I mean, we are living. We are officially past the date in Blade Runner. Like that was right now.
November.
And Back to
that
the
was
Future.
the future. Like, but that was
4 years
Blade
ago.
Runner. It was supposed to be. The world was supposed to be like Blade Runner.
Right.
We are not driving and flying cars.
Well, same thing with Back to the Future too. When they went and everything's flying
Where
around.
the
This
fuck is my
hoverboard.
hoverboard?
Seriously.
Hoverboards.
Yeah.
Those are bird scooters. That's what they're called.
And JT just fell off another one.
It's crazy. But it's a new decade. I'm excited about that. Anybody else?
Yeah, me too.
New decade.
What's fun? We're entering the 20s. entering the 20s.
20s again.
Yeah.
Rolling 20s.
The roaring.
What's that, RB3?
The rolling.
No, rolling.
Where's your mind
now.
at?
No.
The roaring.
No. But I was rewatching the scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin with Kevin Hart, and you ever heard of Rolling 20?
Rolling 20s. Rolling 20s.
That's right.
It's one of the best. One of the best scenes.
Yeah,
Yo, is this your boy? Yeah, we rep the same Smart Tech, motherfucker.
That's one of the best movies ever of all time.
But anyway, the Shazam 2 does get an official release date around the same time as Black Adam. I think good marketing, very smart, and
because I miss baby carrots this week, and it's a Dallas fan and Giants fan here. Hail to the
Gross.
Redskins.
Boo.
Hail victory. Braves on the warpath. Fight for old.
Just tell me when it's
Run or
over.
pass and score. We want a lot more. Beat 'em.
This is my Jubilee
touchdown.
Zoo. This is
it.
They just say they're rooting for the Redskins. They said Braves on a warpath. Is that what they said?
Yeah,
that's their fight song.
That's
Yeah,
cool. That's cool.
I know,
Written by a
right?
white guy.
Who are you? What's your team?
Niners.
Okay, the Niners.
Yeah, 49ers.
How does that happen?
I mean, I hate y'all too, but not nearly as much.
Not as
nearly
much.
as
No,
much.
not as much.
What's crazy about the DC, the mention of Shazam is right now it feels like DC could actually have a better few years in film than Marvel.
Yeah, well,
it
the way
really
that-
does feel that way.
100%.
Like 120%.
The way that it's set up, because you look at what Marvel's done so far, they shot, I mean, everything that the big movies right now, they have to rebuild everything. As where you look, it's funny because everyone was always saying how DC was trying to catch up with Marvel in the MCU, and then they turned away from that. It doesn't feel
they were
like
trying
that
to
at
play
all.
their game.
That's what they were at first,
yeah.
but it's not that anymore because this is the way from the kind of like sneaky under the radar do it. Because when they have it with Black Adam and Shazam 2, you're serializing it,
Right.
and you don't have to serialize the whole entire universe. You just serialize those two particular movies, and you're like, okay, I just saw Black Adam. Oh, and it's going to tie into Shazam 2? Oh, set me up, or whichever one comes out first. But I like what they're doing. I think the strategy is good.
Well, it's like 2 of their last 3 movies have made over $1 billion, and they're astronomically, exponentially different from the one before it.
Hey
Joker,
guys, what
Aquaman.
are your thoughts on the new Rise of Skywalker trailer with Kylo Ren and he? Emperor. Also, Bonnie, I love your work. What can we expect you in next?
Oh, thanks. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully a lot of new stuff in 2020.
Yeah, 'cause
Right.
something, you don't want to talk about it, but something good happened yesterday.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe but hoping
That's why she bailed on us.
hoping 2020 will be a better work year. Yeah, 2019 was a tough one, but thank you so much.
I'm right there with you, sister.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, so we had what was the opening question? Oh yeah, as far as the clip went.
We got to talk about this because
Yes,
it was
please.
in the news thing for the show.
Yeah. So the clip happened with it's not even a trailer, it's a scene. It opens up, it's a scene of Kylo Ren, and I think it answered. So people were asking me, and again, this thing, if you didn't watch the clip, you didn't watch the clip on purpose, right? You might want to do earmuffs. You might want to do earmuffs here because we're gonna talk about what we saw here. And so I want to give everybody.
I'll just go outside for a
Yeah,
minute.
go ahead. Come back in like 5
I wish
minutes.
I could
Move
go
my
outside,
car.
'cause
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I personally didn't watch
I
it.
actually need a bathroom.
Well,
Let's
you
have a
can
bathroom break here.
you can have a bathroom break if you want, but
Text me when you're done.
we will text you. Just come back in like 5 minutes. So what the hell you think I'm doing over here?
I can have a bathroom break doing this because I don't want to hear it.
You don't want to
It's
hear
you and
anything
me.
either. It's just
You and
me.
me,
Yeah,
man.
the hell with it. We'll talk about it. It's fine. And RB3, you know what? Can you set it? You want to walk out too?
It's cool. I don't care.
All right, fine. So to let everybody know, if you don't want to see this clip, because it's pretty spoiler heavy, you guys should probably do the same thing. Go take a bathroom break, come back in like 3 or 4 minutes. Andrew, Ghai, and I are going to talk about it. Here we go. So it's funny when I was asked about the main thing when we even on Dark Side Lights when we're talking about the Emperor and where he needs to show up, and I said you got to bring, if the way that they're marketing him, you got to bring him in quick, man. You can't like show him up in the last 10-15 minutes of this movie. That'd be cheap. You're marketing around him too much, and we need an explanation of what's going on. So they released this clip, and Kylo and the TIE Fighter scream is probably one of my favorite noises in Star Wars
for sure.
And they show up, and he's wherever he's landing, and the first thing, my boy. And he does this whole. So he's like every voice you hear, and he turns to Snoke, and he's like, and then he turns into Vader, and it's like, so it gives you like he's been fucking with him for a while now, and he's been inside of his head, and there's more. I think that's like the opening scene.
Well, I also who didn't think he was going to be in the movie from the very first trailer we heard was.
You mean a lot? You made
Yeah,
the
or
movie a
just,
lot.
I mean, well, the article just is saying in general it's spoiled. It still doesn't mean he's going to be in it a lot.
Right.
It could just be a scene.
I think they're talking more so about the details of how he's involved with Kylo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It has to. Everyone was so upset when Snoke left. You know, they were like, "Oh, he can't actually be dead. There has to be something else." Of course, there's something else. It's always the Emperor. It's always the Emperor. When has it not been the Emperor? Even go back and watch the prequels. You watch 4, 5, and 6. It's always been the Emperor. So if he's not in the final film in what is supposed to be the end of the third trilogy,
right?
What do you expect?
Yeah, I
want him.
I think because I just don't want him to show up in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Like, oh, because we know the Emperor's involved and they've been marketing around him. I think that you set it up when he shows up. That's what I think that scene is. He shows up, he arrives, and there is the and the Emperor's talking to him. That's when we find out what the overall agenda is and how he has been connected to Kylo over this time. And through that, we also find out what the agenda and adventure is going to be going forward with Rey and everything. So he's going to be hunting her, and I believe that that's probably Palpatine at that point putting him on that mission when we see it. So it would make a lot of sense because remember, if they're going off of the marketing of what they've been doing for like Avengers started with like opening scenes and showed us a lot just the beginning of it. I think this is the same thing. I think
you think it's like the Hawkeye opening cutscene, and then it goes in.
I think something probably happens, and then you see it right after the crawl. I wouldn't be surprised if right after the crawl, the TIE fighter comes in, and we just see exactly what we saw.
Which I'm totally fine with. I mean, here's the thing: is I feel like no matter what, people aren't going to be too happy with. They're either going to be too much or not enough, or he's not going to come in at the right time. But I love the Emperor. I love Palpatine. I always want him in the movies. So if it's going to wrap things up and let us know why things have been the way they've been, because that's been a big question mark, right? It's like, what's the, so I'm into it. Totally.
I'm really into it. And I think that I like the way it played. And then they just showed a whole bunch of different clips that,
this trailer looked, I mean, this, whatever you want to call it, it looked awesome.
Yeah,
looked really good.
Agreed.
Are you going? When are you going? You going next week?
Tuesday? I am going on Monday night.
On Monday.
And probably go see it on Tuesday also.
Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you notice in the background here, we got the. Yeah, right, ladies and gentlemen, the Arcade 1-Up.
Yeah.
Arcade 1-Up sent us this wonderful, wonderful Star Wars arcade system there, too. And it's right back from the old school days. And the Star Wars at Home arcade, it features a real light flight yoke and control buttons, which is awesome. I've been playing it religiously. The artwork featured on both from the cabinet include a riser. It's based on the original arcade machine artwork. The cabinet is, I mean, it stands, it's the size of a regular arcade machine, which is amazing. It features a light-up marquee, full-color 17-inch display, and dual speakers to allow for endless hours of gaming. It's the Star Wars at-home arcade, and it features the original arcade version of the classic games based on Star Wars and New Hope, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars Return of the Jedi. It's one of my prized possessions.
It's amazing.
I love it. It is incredible.
Is that the same company that donated that gave Mortal Kombat to Collider?
Yes.
They're amazing. This company in general is just genius.
They are great, and they have a whole bunch of different ones, and it is. I always talk about this. Remember Silver Spoons back in the day? He always had he had an arcade system. I remember being a kid going, "Oh my god, I can't wait till one day I have an arcade," and now I have one thanks to. I
rented an apartment in New York once for a job because the girl had
an arcade machine,
Miss Pac-Man and Galaga in, and I was like, I'll take it.
That's awesome.
Arcade 1-Up. I thank them very much for it, and I absolutely love it. All right, now so Bonnie and Winston are back. Now let's talk about the Star Wars clip that we saw. Okay.
Well played.
Thank you.
Well played, Mr. Harlow.
So we have Sam W. Have you guys watched The Expanse? It's awesome. The 4th season just dropped. It's one of the best sci-fi shows to come out in decades. I've heard that it's amazing.
Good things.
Never seen it. It's on Sci-Fi, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw like there's a new trailer.
Do you watch that?
No, I do not. No.
I heard it's really good. I remember at Comic-Con they featured it a lot. Do you go in for any of the sci-fi shows? No? Because I feel like you would.
No, I never have. It's so weird.
I know. Because there's always comedies and like dramas and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't hear The Flash was the first time I ever heard you going on like a geeky type show.
I think I read for like Star Trek years and years and years ago. Okay. But no, I've never done anything like that. I'd love to.
Great in that
I would love to.
Billy Belford put in a nice SCHMOEBOT.
Billy B.
So did the Hotel Nerd, Onday, Matthew Zachary Reed, Winston, Ghai. Y'all can just DM me on Instagram if you want a song done. It's mreed95.
Slide into your DM.
I'll slide in.
I'll
there.
definitely slide in. Hold on.
You can slide into my DMs,
He
people.
said on Instagram, what is it?
He said it is mreed, REID 95. Also, can anyone listen? Anyone can listen to my music on Spotify and Apple Music or any streaming if you search MAYERS Carter. Thanks, y'all. Thank you. Wonderful song.
Yeah.
Brad Thomas. Hey, everyone. Great job on the spectacular over the weekend. I can't wait for the draft. If no one had a title and you were all managers and you
Beep, beep.
beep beep to you too, and you were all managers and you had the first overall pick, who would you all draft first? Hard for me not to say Dan Murrell. Dan Murrell would be my first pick.
It's a good pick.
That is a good pick.
I go Drew McQueenie.
Bibbs.
Mm-hmm. Who'd you take, RB3? First pick. You can pick anybody you want. You're a manager and nobody's protected.
I gotta go old school. I gotta go not old school. I'll go Ben Bateman.
You go Bateman.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And now we get to What a Jackass with a Jackass. Bonnie, you just get better and better with age.
Oh, thank you.
That was nice.
Guys, this is great to
Yeah.
hear before I have an audition. I'll go from walking in, my head won't fit in the room.
Jay Wade, love the show today. Bonnie's a great addition. Will you go on their after show? That's what he wants to know.
I can't today.
Not today. You just got to call into it.
Today I'm rushing to, where am I going? Barham.
Yeah, well, not today. But two things. Winston, you have to get on when Tasha's on, then come on, go get that rose to report on it.
Yes.
Lastly, can I please hear Obama try to convince Mr. Freeze that global warming is real? Hashtag SEN Afterlife.
That's pretty great.
Go ahead. That's a good one.
Victor, look, very clearly, the world is changing. It's hot outside in December. It's cold outside in June. This climate is hardcore changing. We need to do something about it, and I don't think you trying to freeze Gotham is going to help.
I would say, listening to that, I say you're hot and cold. Part of it says that I'm going to be freeze for a second. See what I did there? I made a pun off my funny. You tell me that these are not serious. I say it is serious. I got to freeze the Bat. I got to freeze the Robin, the Boy Wonder. And the next thing you know, I tell everybody, chill.
All right.
That's a good Obama.
Thank you, man.
That's a great Obama.
Thank you, y'all.
God help us all. Kaylin Rose, 715. Bonnie, please say something to make Kristian turn red again.
Oh, so many things. Like the size of his package, and his wife just always talks. There it goes. It starts to go. I just went in the house and saw the baby and how cute she is, and we talked about the size of your package again.
Nice.
That's all they talk about.
That's all we talk about.
See,
It's always
climate
talking
Well, the first time I ever heard
Look
that
at him.
conversation,
Look.
it wasn't red. It's the first time I ever heard that conversation
No.
was after like my wife brings it up to me. She's like, Bonnie and I were talking about you last night after I did a set at the. I was like, why?
Because it was bulging. You were wearing pants. It was ridiculous. It was literally like it would have been bleeped out or fuzzed out if it was on
They were
before
jeans.
9
It
o'clock.
wasn't tight jeans.
No, it looked like you were smuggling like a flashlight.
They were
in there.
jeggings,
Like it was-
Kristian.
Thank you.
yeah.
They were jeggings.
They were checking.
And his own wife was like, "Oh my God, what is he? Oh my God!"
I found a microphone and I stuck it in my pants.
That's good.
It was obscene.
Sang Lav put in a SCHMOEBOT, so did Big Al, Douglas Johnson, and now we get to Jackson Barber. My usual Star Wars order is Rogue One, New Hope, Empire, prequel trilogy, Return of the Jedi, then the sequel trilogy. My question is, where do you think Solo fits? I put it after New Hope, so the Ford is my first Solo and then gets his back. Oh, Ford is my first Solo and then gets his backstory. So,
Is he asking us where to watch Solo?
Yeah, where do you put Solo? I put it pretty low. It's pretty low for
Yeah,
me. Yeah, I mean, I probably put it after Revenge of the Sith, but before Last Jedi, before Phantom Menace.
Oh, you're one of the people that hates Last Jedi.
I like it less.
What's your
Jedi.
lead? What's the one you think is the worst?
Gotta be Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. But that's always the one. What about after Attack of the Clones?
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace is really
then-
bad.
Ugh,
then
Phantom Menace is mine.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's
ugh.
bad. Then Last Jedi, then Solo, then Revenge of the Sith.
So Solo is probably my bottom. I really
Solo's
did not
very
like
bad.
that. I really did not like that movie.
Solo, yeah.
I
just
it
couldn't be bothered to care about anyone in it.
yeah,
You know?
And I think part of it is because like it is so hard. I feel like to tell a story where you already kind of know a lot of the outcomes. but they didn't give me a reason to give a fuck about any of the stakes because I was like, well, okay.
Also, if you're just gonna do what you did to De Niro and The Irishman, just do that to fucking Harrison Ford and give us a real solo movie.
They should have Anthony and Gruber should at least. I think he auditioned.
Did you
for
see?
it.
I was thinking of the last show we did. They got nominated for best stunts, The Irishman.
Yeah.
And someone tweeted. Someone tweeted, "Holy, Robert De Niro trying to kick a man in the stomach, nominated for stunts, Batman."
I know, that's
Getting out of a chair.
I don't understand how that was nominated for stunts.
I mean, it was really funny because that the only thing. But
And John Wick 3 wasn't nominated.
No, I know.
Oh, that's shame,
That's
shame.
such bullshit.
Shame.
John Wick actually kills somebody with a book.
Shame.
Okay.
The pen was literally mightier than the sword in that movie.
Big Al did SCHMOEBOT, excuse me, and then we do Jeremiah put a SCHMOEBOT in. Jake the Snake Jackson Barber says, does Baby Yoda in season 1 mean we'll get moody teenager Yoda in season 2 or later a la Groot? No, I don't think so. I think that because they don't age that much. So
He ages way too slow.
yeah, that's what I think for sure.
Groot's a treat.
Yeah, I want to get some more. Let's see. Jeremiah Morris says, can we get Andrew Guy doing the voice of Nicolas Cage reacting to Guy versus Merle? Also, I love RB3's laugh. Thank you for making a bad day good. Well, thank you. So you want to do Nicolas Cage watching the match itself?
Well,
but Nicolas Cage is a Merle fan.
Is he?
Yeah. So as a Merle fan watching that match.
God, I have to get into my Nick Cage. We have to find it.
Yeah.
So we were watching the match, and I just couldn't believe what happened. He went over there, and he jumped on the table like a little asshole. He was jumping around going, fuck you, fuck you. But really, it was all about Merle. God damn it. God damn it. Where's Weston? Weston.
It's really good. It's really good. Well done.
Well done.
That was awesome.
Bonnie, what you got?
Oh boy,
Who do you do?
What do you mean? I do a lot.
Ooh.
I do a lot of people. You know, my girls.
That's what you do. You just broke Ben's heart.
Goddard's watching
Not currently. Not currently.
everyone.
Not currently. No. No, I do my. I'll do my Reese.
Okay, you did Reese.
Yeah.
Reese. All right.
Rule number 1: don't propose to a girl in a bus. Rule number 2: don't say it's because you had a bad dream. Y'all can't walk no line.
It's really good.
That is really
good.
good.
I like it.
I feel like you could do a good Drew Barrymore.
I could do my Drew. I'll do my Drew real quickly. I'll be like, okay. You guys, I love being here. It's like the best podcast ever.
Well done. So now, see, this is good. It's good, but now the fans know that you can do Drew Barrymore and Reese Witherspoon. They know what you can do.
I'm my Al Pacino. The fans liked my Al Pacino with you.
That's true. Pacino.
And I De Niro. I do De Niro too.
Yeah. Well, so any one of those that you guys now that's there's going to be more skits. I feel for sure.
You see how you're like do some, and I was like, no, I can't, and now I'm listing like I also did this. I was like this.
I forgot. I have to wait till my sinus is clear because I've got to do my Cat Williams. I still haven't done that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And my Lorraine Bracco Goodfellas. That's your favorite. That used to be your favorite.
Oh, I did like that one. Yeah, for sure.
So good.
We'll do that. Well, let them request it. Haskell 420 has a SCHMOEBOT. Thank you. Jeremiah Morris just did that wonderful Nicolas Cage. Baby Yoda is Snoke. Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of the Schmoes of the North fan page. We want to truly thank you for the Schmoedown. Well, thank you. It's what's make us survive our cold winters here in Canada. Cheers, and here's to hoping that the support keeps on growing for the Schmoedown. Well, thank you, because hopefully it does too, because that way I want to get to Canada pretty badly. Yeah. Soggy muffin top, not mini muffins. Ooh. If you read this message out loud, it's confirmation that you're putting me in the Schmoedown draft. Nice try.
Good luck.
Call to action says beep boop. Pac-Man Dwayne also puts one in. Joe the Giant says, I just joined the Action Army this week as a corporal. So which one am I supposed to hate and which one is the traitor? My memory is terrible. Over a dozen concussions and 10 years of football will do that to a person. So
holy shit. Are you Rob Gronkowski?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You're supposed, it depends. It depends. It depends on what you think. Some people, when Andrew Guy tackled his old partner, Ben Bateman, some people think that he was out of line, that he shouldn't have done that to his partner, but others say that that Bateman turned his back on Guy and that he had it coming. So it just depends on where you stand, sir.
Big time salute for joining up on the Patreon.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Stuff. Keep them coming over to the streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Thank you to Zachface FuryX, who puts in a SCHMOEBOT. Frank Torres says, Andrew is a fellow 49er faithful? Hell yeah. Sorry. Winston, love you, but guess what? Cowboys suck.
They do.
I don't like them at all.
They are bad.
You know who hasn't been mentioned at all? The Jets.
You guys played last night. Yeah, that was
no.
Yeah.
And you just let Mark
She said
Ingram just
nothing.
embarrass
She said
y'all.
nothing. Tell me, Lorraine Bracco, tell me about the Jets.
What are they supposed to do? They're running all over the field. You don't love me.
I do, Karen.
Sorry. Karen, $30,000 was all the money we had.
Poosh. Good morning, crew. Kristian, I was thrilled to hear you yesterday that you introduced RB3 to the Gravediggers. They're classics. And Winston, please tell us the story of what led you to indulge in tasty beverages while sick last night. Peace out, Mother F.
All it was it was dodgeball playoffs, so I was hopped up on hella Dayquil so I could play, and we won in overtime. The overtime rules for this particular league is you play a 4-minute match, and however many people are left, you just count, and that's how you decide. And we won by one person. So then, of course, the whole team was like, well, we're taking shots. I'm like, yo, I need to go to bed. They go, get your bitch ass in this bar right now. And the next thing you know, I woke up this morning hating my life. Because I was supposed to come watch the Mando with you, and I
probably killed some cold bacteria, though.
Yeah,
a lot. I killed a lot. Like, my throat feels great. It's just my head.
Irish whiskey and tea. My grandma used to.
Reese says the Twilight Girl felt like a character out of a Harry Potter movie rather than Star Wars.
Yes, she felt like Helena Bonham Carter's character, Beatrix.
Yeah.
I hated
You didn't like
Andrew Ghai is the real person. Ben is the traitor. True Army never roots for Ben.
That's right.
Go Packers.
Okay.
And then you lost us all.
I was going to say, and then you blew
then you blew it.
Jake
that must
Acavetta.
have been Jeremiah.
Jake Acavetta said, I got to hear that Pacino impression from Bonnie. I have no comment for certain other people in the room.
What?
This is the guy who threw Andrew's shirt in the trash after he retired. Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
So Bonnie,
What?
hit it up.
Hooah! What are we going to talk about now?
I mean, come on. You got Bonnie Somerville.
Bonnie Somerville.
She's sitting over there doing God knows what.
I'm sitting over here and I'm doing impressions. Hooah! Who girls alive?
It's like Finstock's Arnold impression. Which is,
That was a good one.
oh my God, it was so bad. Toby Thrawn, can we get Arnold or Obama as scream killers on the telephone with Drew Barrymore? I love your imitations. All right, so we'll do the first one as Arnold doing the. So you remember that scene in Scream?
No, I don't.
All right, so you just got it. You don't remember?
Who is this?
Yeah. All right, so the phone rings.
Hello?
Hey,
Hi, who is it?
what are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm just sitting here.
Do you like scary movies?
I like scary movies sometimes.
Well, what kind of scary movies do you like?
I would have watched the shit out of that movie.
That would be.
Don't hang up on me.
Obama, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it again. So, hello.
Hi. Hello.
What are you doing?
Just sitting here, just ordered a pizza.
What kind of pizza did you order?
Pepperoni, some sausages.
Oh, well, are you going to watch it with your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not know if I'm feeling into scary movies tonight.
Go outside. Look in the sky.
Go outside. Why?
You see that drone?
Yeah.
You're dead.
Stu, stop fucking around, killer!
All right, keeping up to streamlabs.com. When I finished all the Streamlabs, now I got to get all the way over here, and now I got to do all these super chats. But I did all the Streamlabs. Keep the Streamlabs coming. We have about half an hour left.
I wasn't going to admit this, but you know when you guys were talking about Star Wars, I was like, I'm going to go find Advil in my car.
Yeah.
Guess who left his keys on the floor when he walked out?
Oh, look at you. So you did it after giving Bonnie all that shit.
That shit.
Yeah,
Karma's a bitch, man.
That's right. That's right. Okay, I'm going to get to Epsilon Audio. Hey, Kristian, Spectacular 4, it was everything and more. It was the magic season. Quick question. Did Kalinowski and Smets really have beef backstage? No. And go back to my show yesterday that I did on Backstage, by the way. And I have all those answers for you guys. Go please and check that out for sure. Going back over to... This is Super Chat. This is Super Chat. So we have number This is the prince that wasn't promised. I'm glad to see the GOAT back on the table. Great group today. You guys are awesome. Keep on keeping on.
Joseph Boros, big shout out.
That's right. Nico Suave Rigoli, last day of class today. PowerPoint presentation on Tuesday. Graduation ceremony on December 21st. And then I'm free. Thanks to my schmoes for the support. Well, thank you. Sir Skipper, Bonnie, I learned that you were a history nerd, and so am I. I was wondering, who was your favorite person to learn about? Mine was the Roman emperors, Augustus and Diocletian. Excuse me.
My favorite medieval history is Eleanor of Aquitaine. She's probably the most fascinating woman in all of history, and I would love to do a show about her. That's my dream. She was like modern day feminist.
Can you do Reese Witherspoon as her?
Whoa. I need to, no, probably not. But if you don't know about Eleanor of Aquitaine, she was the first woman to actually, she went on crusades. She negotiated her own divorce. She married someone 9 years younger after her first husband and had 10 children, most of which all became kings and queens. And she was ruler for her son, Richard the Lionheart, when he was on crusades. And she lived until her 80s. And she's like a really, like a badass, fascinating woman from the 1200s. So no one really knows about her, and she's pretty amazing.
She sounds awesome. She sounds like the white Madam C.J. Walker.
Seriously, like there should be a show, a series about this woman, because she had her started at 14 and it died in her 80s, and what she did in that time is unheard of for a female. Yeah.
Okay. So now
he's like, and moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Your ears bleeding? Your ears are bleeding, right?
No, they're not.
This is what happens on all my dates. Literally all my dates. I start talking about history, and their ears bleed, and they're like, "Oh, I thought you were going to be different."
Well, good for you. Now we get to Dan Bescher. Said, I've been a big fan of Bonnie since the OC.
Oh, thanks.
I'm just going to laugh. I put dollars to bagels that Ben comes in here with a whole encyclopedia.
Eleanor
He's dressed like Joan of Arc the next time he comes out.
It's the wrong character. God,
no, he is.
No, I know, but I'm
Joan
saying
of Arc.
that's what
Joan of Arc is another interesting one, but Eleanor of Aquitaine.
Yeah. G. Paul. I haven't been digging the tone and the writing of The Mandalorian in the last 3 episodes. Always, what's your go-to wiping technique? Schlong.
Nice.
You just take care of it the way you got to take care of it. That's what I always found out.
Front to back.
There you go.
Front to back.
Front to back, always.
And then you throw in the one back to front at the end to make sure.
Not if you're a girl.
Not if you're a girl.
No.
Yeah.
Not if you're a girl.
You don't want.
No.
It's like, no, girl. Actually, you can't do that.
I have something to tell you guys.
I'm an uncle 15 times over. I've changed diapers. You have to go.
Oh, yeah. You only go front to back.
I know.
Yeah.
Found that out when I was after my first daughter's. No. Yeah. Okay. And as far as the writing goes, I think that I only had a problem with writing in the last episode. That was it. And honestly, I didn't have a problem with the writing. It was the miscasting of a couple people in the last episode. Vinny Santoro, Kristian, have you thought about releasing the competitors' theme songs to the public? Yeah, especially David B., who he and I are going to have some more conversations about it, because David B. does the original music, and I think that we just have to get on the same page, but I think that we'll probably wind up putting those on sale next year for sure. Trouser Snake, Jake Honcho. Hope I walk out of episode 9 with a heart on, unlike Last Jedi. Well, I mean, listen, whatever makes it work.
You broke RG3, Jesus.
RG3.
RB3. You broke me too. Shit, my bad, RB3.
I was wondering what RG3 was doing these days. Corey Knott, what do you prefer?
My bad, bro.
What do you prefer? Technical question. The digital dong from the Watchmen movie or the practical dong from the TV? I haven't seen the TV show yet, and I guess Dr. Manhattan's in it, so thanks for the spoiler.
To say that for real, god damn, you just gonna throw spoilers out there.
I've been seeing pictures everywhere.
Is he in the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the trailer, and I guess we were just it was on Kimmel.
Yeah.
So I guess it's.
I will say the physical dong in this one.
Yeah.
Quite mighty.
It has to be.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let's try to do some more here.
I think your camera went out again.
It's the heat. It's for some reason it's the setting for that camera. It's the only one. Let's see. Now we have Langley McNeely. Odds that Lor Santeca brings Baby Yoda to Luke by the season 1 end. Very low. There's no chance that they're going to have him come in, I don't think, or see Luke. Haskell 420, R.I.P. to the iconic Danny Aiello, for 86 years old. Yeah, RB3 and I talked about him earlier. Obviously, Danny Aiello from Do the Right Thing, and his tons of movies that he was in. And wasn't he in? He was
Moonstruck. It's one of his best performances
for sure.
ever.
And he was also in Harlem Nights. Which I love. Harlem Nights. I love that. It's such an underrated movie. But yeah, 86 years old. Had a pretty full life. But it's always sad when you lose somebody like that. And that was a great actor, and thoughts and prayers to his family and friends, obviously.
Who in the world is this soggy mini muffin top clown?
Oh, I know.
We'll slap him with my schlong, which has Mike Tyson strength if he ever tries to impersonate me again.
Yep.
Also, Christina, I see you opened up the elite access for the big man with the big WANGG. Brace yourselves. Currently tens of thousands of feet in the air. No plans to get my schlong touched, but what happens in the Mile High Club stays there. First exposure to Bonnie was when she tried moving in on Sandy Cohen. You guys rock.
What's that?
The OC.
Oh, okay. That was what he was talking about. So what happened? You tried to take over a married man or something?
Yeah, I tried to have a thing with him, and
said fuck off.
No, it was gonna go somewhere, and then they just kind of fizzled out, the guest star. But I think I made a mistake by not accepting their offer at the time. I was like, my team tried to get a little more money because the show was doing well, and they were like, bye. And in hindsight, I should have just stayed on there.
How many episodes did you do?
7, I think. 6 or 7.
And how many was the?
Well, it went. It was like a juggernaut for like 3 years.
Oh, so you would?
No, was it? It was like a big, huge. I did like the beginning.
So you could have been on. You could have been on a lot longer.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but at the time, I was feeling it, and
yes,
I don't blame you.
Now I'm like, let's do a reboot.
Can we bring the show back? Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's rebooting everything. There probably will be one.
Probably.
I did have. Let's see.
Ain't no fresh ideas no more.
Where was that? Did I miss that one? Okay, Ramon Fritz. There's 22.5 hours of Star Wars movie content, and my friends and I aren't bothered to watch Solo because all of us agree that it's the worst movie in the canon. Can we hear Nick Cage, Obama, Pacino, and Arnold arguing over their least favorite Star Wars? So I guess you'll be Al.
No.
Yeah, what do you mean? You don't? It'll be Al? You want to do something
else? I'll be Al.
Who's easier for you?
I'll
to
be
do?
Al.
All right, so you got to argue for your least favorite Star Wars movie. You're Nick Cage. You are Obama. I will be Pacino, and you'll be Pacino, and I'll be Arnold. I will start. I mean, this is a stupid argument. Everybody knows the answer to this. It's the one with the Jar Jar, and he's stepping in the
Star Wars!
And we got to do it, Al. That's the whole point. The guy puts in the dollar. He wants us to talk about it.
Now, Arnold. Let's be real here. It's Empire Strikes Back.
Oh,
come on!
I know it's crazy.
Come on there.
Hit him with Empire Strikes Back.
Fell on your head a couple times.
I've had hand issues.
Completely out of line.
You got hit in the head with the rock.
You're completely out of line.
Oh no!
Clearly, it's Solo.
No, we didn't.
Solo is absolutely awful.
You in the neighborhood.
I love me some Donald Glover, but that movie was god awful.
Movie was fucking terrible.
I mean, come on, Al. I don't know about the language, but I think you're not in the wrong neighborhood. You saying the Empire there with the hands getting cut off.
Listen, boy, you gotta pull your head out of your ass. See?
Issues with my hand my whole life.
Yeah,
and to lose a hand is
father issues.
It's terrible. Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Trying to make it up.
Now he's gonna cry about it.
I mean, I won't lie.
He's gonna cry.
A solid
I'm not
hand
gonna cry.
is very
I'm not gonna
important.
cry, Al.
Oh, don't start crying, you motherfucker.
Boo-hoo. All right, good. Let's say. That's right.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, Mom.
That's all right. We did that one already, too.
Sorry, Christian's mom.
I know. Jeremiah Morris put in a SCHMOEBOT for sure. Sorry. Your FOMO from Saturday is more than deserved, Guy. You kind of betrayed the Action Army on Friday. Still, guess what? # Team Guy forever. Thanks again for letting us generals tag along to the AMA on Monday.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Oh, this is a good one. Nick Piccolo says, can we get Nicolas Cage as the Emperor Palpatine and Gary Busey as his Padawan? All right.
Emperor Palpatine, I'm here. I just crushed and used the Force by just staring at a lemon.
Well, Gary, that's fantastic. Now, if you could just go over here and murder a bunch of children, I think it'd be really good for all of us.
I'll beat you to it. I hit all of them with my space cruiser on the way in, but I thought it was a daily dimabene, whatever that is.
Gary, your teeth are immaculate.
Thank you so
They're
much.
So white.
I used the force to push them from the inside of my soul up through my larynx, back through the left side of my earlobe, and now they have turned into tape.
Unlimited power.
Well done.
Wow.
Jeremiah Morris put in a robot. Ramon Fritz did that one. Sorry, he said the same thing. And then we have Popcorn Shower. Hello, you awesome people. I have a bit of a random question, but do you think that we have already seen the peak of the MCU? I kind of feel like replicating what they have done over the past 10 years or so, it's not just not going to be possible. Thanks and happy holiday. We'll start with RB3. RB3, what do you think?
Yeah, I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, obviously. I love everything they've done up until this point. I personally think that, for me at least, the same way I look at Logan as kind of, to me, it's the unofficial end of the X-Men universe. I know they did Dark Phoenix and they're doing New Mutants after this, but I personally think of Logan as the end point. I kind of think of Avengers Endgame as like the end point. This is going to be a new beginning. They're obviously going to introduce like the Eternals and like all of these different like new characters, and I'm a fan of like what they have to do next. But in terms of the series of characters of Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, I think they still have more stuff coming.
Yeah.
But I see this as like
They got to build.
Yeah, I see this as like the definitive end, and they're rebuilding. Like Andrew Guy said, I think they're probably next couple years we're going to see DC take a good run.
I mean, it feels just like sports. Like your team goes on like a magical like run to win the championship, and then after that, sometimes the contracts are ridiculous, and you just have to let everybody go. Everybody retired, and then you just got to start over. And I think I agree with you. I think that's what's going to happen. We're not going to see peak Marvel again for at least 5 or 6 years.
Okay, let's see. Now we get into M9. It's just because this is quotes. Just because Kevin Hart is in it doesn't make it a black movie, from what Winston said. But Die Hard takes place during Christmas, so it does make it a Christmas movie. I guess Titanic is a spring break movie because it took place during April.
No. First of all, that is a false equivalency.
It's a vacation movie.
Being a smartass.
No. That's a false equivalency. They literally call attention to the fact that it is Christmas all throughout the Die Hard movie.
But it's not a Christmas
but
movie.
Nobody goes, oh shit, Kevin Hart's here. He got black as fuck in here, except for the point where the Indian dude goes. Where the Indian dude goes, the forecast is cloudy with a chance of drive-by. Right. Like that's the only thing that makes it calls attention to it being black in that moment. But other than that,
you gotta
I'm
drive?
leaving early. I have to. Well, I need also a couple of minutes to kind of.
Just gotta get in the right headspace.
You'll get.
I have an audition and it's in the Valley, and they're going only till 1 for me.
Right.
So I also need to give myself at least a 15-minute window of
prepping.
Sprucing up a little bit.
Take the 405 off Olympic, and you'll get there, and then take the 101. You'll be there.
This is so LA.
Take
Take the 405. We have an audition in the Valley.
Don't be silly and try to go different routes. Just get there.
Right.
Just get right on the 405.
Well, like I said last week for Mando, start in space, land on random spot, meet new characters, kill new characters, grab the little dude, and peace out. Cool action scenes with a lost story so far in Mando.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, though. I mean, I think that right now it's very episodic. You get the hell out of
I
here.
love you all. Thank you for having me.
Maybe when do you go to New York?
I'm going to go get this job. Not for a couple weeks.
All right, so maybe you come on next week.
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool.
I love you all.
So
I love
Bonnie,
all of you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bonnie Somerville, ladies and gentlemen. Tweet at her and let her know that she's cool. All right. So, I don't disagree. I think that it definitely has that episodic feel, but I'm okay with it as long as they're written well. I feel like there's going to be things inside of it that does further the story eventually. I didn't feel that way last week, but I do feel that way this week. So the episodic thing, does that bother you? Does it feel like a kind of a rinse and repeat type thing?
It does, but they're all different.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. You're meeting new characters. They're not giving you the same thing over and over again. Right. So I'm okay with it.
Okay. RB3?
I'm loving the episodic feel of it. Again, once it gets to a story, it's gonna get somewhere, but I'm hoping they just keep it going for now.
It just dawned on me what this reminds me of. The Mandalorian reminds me of Samurai Jack, which was one of the enough about it. Yeah. That was one of the greatest shows to ever come out of like the early 2000s, and it was essentially that because he's on his overall quest to go kill Aku, this like wizard villain or whatever. But he literally, in the process, is going to different villages, different like towns, whatever else, learning new skills, and then moving on. This is kind of what this feels like, and I'm okay with it, honestly.
Yeah. And then Poosh says, what's the SEN schedule over the holidays? Christmas Day and New Year's land on Wednesdays this year. Well, we're still figuring that out. I don't think that we're going to have shows on Christmas Eve and on Christmas. Now, it depends on who's in. Now that I actually know how to engineer, I can probably, whether or not I'd love to, whoever's in town can come in and we can do some shows together. But at Christmas Eve and Christmas, not only do I not want people to come in and work on that day, I also want to make sure I keep the sanity in my house. And working on Christmas Eve and Christmas is going to be a big thing. But we will, what I'm hoping to do is we're going to probably start re-uploading some old school matches from season 3 and season 4 on the Schmoedown channel. So, and we'll run them as like premieres, and the spectacular will also be up. So there'll be a lot of content, and then I'll probably wind up doing a try to do a backstage for Schmoedown and other things too. But SEN Live will probably have shows throughout the week, just not on that particular on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then probably New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Okay, let's see. What I will try to do here is I'm going to go any more questions that you guys have, throw them into streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. Schmoebot's still on. And Toby Thrawn says, I guess you guys remember the horrible Star Wars Extended Universe book. If Doctor Strange 2 does well, I dig a new Star Wars horror. Scott Derrickson mixes horror great with other genres. Exorcism of Emily Rose, he'd be great for Star Wars. I wouldn't mind, I think that's what television allows itself for. And even in Scott Derrickson doing this episode that just aired, there's some horror elements in this episode for sure. You can feel it. And I think you said it was Batman mixed with that kind of horror feel also that I think works. Yeah. But Derrickson would bring some flavor to it.
No, I completely agree. I think it'd be great.
RBT, let's turn on some of the news here. Let's get to some of the news and the stuff besides the stuff that we covered already, obviously. And as we'll close up with some more. If you have any other questions with streamlabs.com/Schmoedown or Super Chat, we'll do those at the end of the show. But if not, we're going to cover some of these stories because there's a big thing with Bob Iger and Martin Scorsese. They're going to meet. What is all this about?
So apparently Bob Iger and Martin Scorsese are going to have a meeting together to discuss the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe as amusement parks versus actual cinema. Bob Iger said in a quote, he was, he takes particular issue with that, seeing that Black Panther, he considers one of his top 5 career achievements. And obviously it was nominated for Best Picture and it has like a lot of critical acclaim. And meanwhile, Irishman is in the news as well. And obviously Joker is another comic book movie that is influenced heavily by Martin Scorsese's filmography. So there's a lot of different layers to
I
this.
had to step away. Did you address the EP9 clip that is spoiler heavy but being disguised as a trailer or TV spot? Had to get round for work, sorry.
It's okay. We actually talked about it for a little bit, and we're going to make sure that in the time codes, for people who don't want to be spoiled, it's there. But RB3, go ahead.
Where are the time codes?
Yeah. So
that's the main story. They're going to sit down and have a conversation about this whll cinema versus Marvel debate.
Is there anything publicity-wise? I just don't think there's any way that he could come back from it if he did it. But if Bob Iger is so good, that what if Bob Iger said, okay, listen, so prove everybody what this thing is and direct one of these movies.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
And if Scorsese comes out because I don't think though that he could come back from the PR unless he says, I'm going to make a Marvel movie my way.
Did Blade?
I know, but here's the thing though. There's no chance in hell it would ever happen. Not only because
I don't want Scorsese to touch anything.
Me too. I don't.
He doesn't deserve it.
Me too.
I love Scorsese. No, he doesn't deserve it because he doesn't respect it. Why would anyone that's that good?
I don't think.
Why would anyone that's that good want to touch something that he has very little respect for?
I don't think he doesn't respect it. I think that he has two. I think he has a different idea of what movies and cinema are. I think that's what they're going to get a clear-cut version of what this conversation is all about.
But what he's saying is that what he does is cinema.
Right.
That's what he's saying.
No,
what he's saying
it's
is
very
what they're doing is not.
It's very, very condescending.
And don't get me wrong, I love Scorsese. If he should be able to he should be able to touch whatever he wants, right? But he shouldn't be able to touch something that he doesn't want to.
And that's kind of my point, though. My point is that if he did get announced, that's the kind of reaction that it would gather from a lot of the people. And so that A, wouldn't happen, and B, another reason why it would never happen is because there's no chance that Scorsese starts to get in line with the whole conversation we had, I think, before the show started, where you have to be in line with what Kevin Feige's vision is for the thing, and no one's going to tell Scorsese what to do. So
exactly. I mean, literally, we had the one director who was supposed to do Black Widow before. She said that she stepped away from the project because Marvel doesn't even let you direct your own action scenes. So like I can't
Wait,
even
what?
Yeah, I mean, one of the
Ryan Coogler didn't direct Black Panther. Action scenes, I don't buy that.
He didn't. I mean, do you think the third act was something that the whole third act was literally taken from Spider-Man 3? I mean, beat by beat, the entire underground sequence.
Sure. Oh, you mean that part of it?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Part.
But what I'm saying is, it's very. I mean, when you watch any Marvel movie, the action is pretty standard. I mean, it's very clear that they don't.
Well, I guess it depends, because Ryan was definitely very vocal about like the scene in the casino, like he directed the shit out of that, and it was wonderful. I mean, like to the point where how many memes did we get about Okoye throwing her wig?
Yeah. Right.
Like already talking about how much she hated it, but using it as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like that was 100% Ryan.
Yeah.
But I can see that maybe with the That's a good point.
But but we've seen multiple examples of directors saying that, of course, Marvel is involved. They want to keep continuity of their story. But even James Gunn said when he first went in for Guardians of the Galaxy, his main concern was that he didn't know how to handle like the visual effects and the stunt and the set pieces. But he said the team at Marvel kind of helped them navigate a lot of that, where he could focus more on the story. I think Scorsese, he wants to be involved in every single detail of every single film that he's going to be involved in. And I don't think having a Marvel connection is ever going to be conducive to that.
Yeah, I agree with
that. I get that argument. I agree with Andrew, though, in the sense that I don't think he deserves it in that if you're just going to talk mad shit about somebody like that, like unless you're coming with some immediate like solutions that you're like XYZ is what I think would improve it. Like don't come over and talk shit about my shit.
Right.
And then you don't.
Well, I'm just curious what this overall will mean for what will come out of this. It's probably a mutual respect. I like the fact that they're sitting down together. You get two powerhouses, a powerhouse director and a powerhouse executive sitting down. I'd like to see the overall conversation of what they have and the understanding and see where they're both coming from. I think it's a good thing to do in general. Going back to streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown, this is from Slen182. What's your release plan for the Rise of Skywalker reviews and spoiler discussion videos? When and with who? Okay, so the first part is the non-spoiler review, which will probably come on Wednesday morning of next week, I believe, is when the embargo lifts. So whoever's on the table, it doesn't matter like if they haven't seen it, because it's a non-spoiler review. As far as spoiler, most likely we'll do it by myself, unless Ellis might do it with me, and we could have a spoiler heavy discussion. We'll probably do a shorter spoiler, and then we'll probably do a full on kind of 2 hour, maybe 2 to 3 hour spoiler discussion with you guys of everything that you want to talk about. So that's
we're doing one at midnight.
Are you really?
We're gonna do it at 12:01 at Popcorn.
When?
Ben and I on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning at 12:01. We're gonna go there after the screening, and we're gonna do a full hour spoiler review, but we're gonna do a first thoughts non-spoiler as well on our
that's
channel.
how you got to do it for sure.
I was gonna say one thing before we leave news completely.
Yes,
I'm kind of talking about the Irishman and
right.
They released the
numbers, right?
They released the streaming numbers for. Thank you. They released the streaming numbers for The Irishman. And according to Netflix, in the first 7 days, 26.2 million accounts watched The Irishman within the first 7 days of its release. And those numbers account for people who completed at least 70% of the film. And those numbers aren't as high as Bird Box, which was the last big Netflix original movie hit. Right. Yeah, that one did 45 million in the first 7 days, but still a pretty big hit for Netflix.
20 million difference.
And I think that's one of the positives, that when you have that kind, it had a lot of promotion about it. It's got a lot of things. I mean, and by the way, Scorsese is not an idiot. When he did all that stuff, he was in the news more about his Marvel comments than anything else. And
people probably hate watched that.
And a lot of people watched that movie because they had heard that this movie was coming out and they wanted to see it.
Anyone else find it funny that The Rock not working in the first time in forever is news? Lol. Also super hyped that Black Adam and Shazam 2 is out 4 months apart from one another. Also funny Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 releasing on the same day.
So awesome.
Yeah, it's true.
What was he saying about The Rock not working?
I don't know. Yeah, he said the first
he's
time
always
there's
working.
news.
He's got his
always
tequila line coming. He's doing
movie coming out
Jumanji
this
press
weekend.
release.
He
may not. I was gonna say he may not be in a movie, but he's always working.
He is in a movie. He's in Jumanji.
No. I know. I'm saying if someone is concerned about him maybe not working next year, so he's
and
got.
He's doing pre-pro for Black Adam,
and he's got that Jungle Cruise movie with Emily Blunt coming out too. He's got tons of stuff coming out, and he's got TV shows and all this shit too. He's not going anywhere.
But so back to Scorsese. What we were saying about the Irishman numbers and people that actually watch and all that, because there was the other article that came out that showed that only 18% of people that started it finished it or something like that, something crazy. That's, again, it just goes to show literally news story after news story of why he should never touch a Marvel movie.
Right.
I love Martin Scorsese. Don't get me wrong, but the last thing that he did that really wowed me was Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. Loved it. Really good movie. Too. But again, it's still him doing his thing. It's so Martin Scorsese that he could never make a Marvel movie.
Well, see,
couldn't do it.
I don't know. I mean, you look at a movie like Hugo. I think he'd be able to do it.
I didn't like.
You don't like Hugo?
It's fine.
I liked Hugo a lot. Anyway, so I think that's the majority of everything, guys. Let me double check and make sure.
What if he did a villain movie of like Kingpin?
See, I could be into something like that. Yeah.
Or like go to DC and do like a Black
Mask.
Mask.
Remember,
movie.
there was talk that he was going to do Joker. There was for a while.
He confirmed it. He confirmed that he was in talks.
He was in talks to do it.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, that would have been interesting. So I think it was more of a shot on Marvel than it was overall comic book movies. But
putting kayfabe aside, salute to both Andrew Ghai and Ben Bateman. If you haven't watched their content on Action Industries, Popcorn Talk, or anywhere else, then you're missing out on great stuff. #AlwaysAction.
That's right. Thank you so much, Jake, for sure. Ed says, Scorsese reminds me of my grandfather telling me that new music at the time wasn't music. I just laugh him off, really. I hope you all have a great weekend. Keep up the great content. My knitters. And yes.
They love pushing that button.
They do. We did that last. And this was someone else said they were listening to that and laughing their asses off. Tom Brady is black. Winston, what is your favorite anime? Full Metal Alchemist would be mine. Kristian, you should watch it. You would love it. It's an amazing story.
You actually really would love Full Metal Alchemist. It fluctuates. I think the top 3 for me, Death Note, Cowboy Bebop, and probably, this is a little controversial, Yu Yu Hakusho. I really, really enjoy that, but I love me some Dragon Ball Z. I love Naruto. I love all the main stuff, too, but those would probably be my 3.
I never wanted Brett on the show more than just right now.
I know.
Because he would have been like, wait. Brett Strahasko?
I mean, that's unbelievable. Wow.
Anyway, guys, I want to thank Bonnie Somerville for being on the show here today. Make sure you tweet at Bon Somerville. Let her know that you enjoyed her on the show. Andrew Ghai, ladies and gentlemen, the dastardly one, Andrew Ghai. Check him out. Check out the Action Army, and we'll look at all the great stuff that they are doing over there. Winston Marshall, check him out. That's good. I like that. And take us out with this one.
Take it out with this.
I like this. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining on this wonderful week here. Matthew Reed, thank you for the wonderful music. And thank you guys. Every week, make sure you go to theschmoedownlive.com, visit the website, check it out. Tickets are on sale for the award show, January 11th. That's the same day as the draft. Both of them. You can come and watch it. Be with us at the world-famous Comedy Store. January 25th. That is going to be the New York, Brooklyn event. Tickets on sale, theschmoedownlive.com. Same thing. Atlanta. February 29th. Get your tickets there. Make sure you get all your tickets at theschmoedownlive.com. And the spectacular is still available until Tuesday morning, ladies and gentlemen. So go and get that. Thank you all. We really appreciate everything. I'm going to try to get to the Mandalorian spoiler-heavy review and watch along a little later today. So check me out later. And we'll see you guys on Monday here on SEN Live. Thank you so much.
Gallery 3 on the cameras. We do not fuck with no amateurs. Y'all better make me a manager. I might just fly down from Canada. I ain't no frame, you ain't freezing my ray. Best believe you can't eat on my plate. Best believe I got thoughts. Bonnie and the SCHMOEBOT. I jump on the chin, I'm ballin' like Kate. I'm teaching my zone, yeah, but going on dates.